Welcome to The Objective Perspective. I'm Chase.
I'm Joe.
And we're going to be talking about those sweet, sweet video games.
Feeling good, 2018.
Feeling good. We had a good little pre-talk. I've been talking all day. 2018,
Give you a nice
baby.
early peek. First
Yeah.
peek of 2018.
First peek of 20. That didn't even peak.
Oh, you want me to do it again?
No, I'd rather you not.
Woo!
That one got closer. We just had these nice
All right,
mufflers.
wait
really.
for part 3
Okay.
later in the podcast.
Let's get.
Woo!
Still not peaking. Still on the yellows.
Challenges.
Yeah, that's close. That hurts just because it's loud in my own ears, and I want you to stop.
Why don't you read me the list of games that come out in January?
Well, there's a lot of games coming out, but a lot of them are re-releases for the Nintendo Switch, which include like Super Meat Boy, Fury, are all like coming out for the Switch. Which Fury's a really cool
I
game.
want to play Fury.
Yeah, it was free. That's when I would have recommended to get it. The Escapist 2 comes out January 11th.
Fuck PS Plus.
You fucked the PS Plus. That's like I think Escapist 2 is pretty big as an idea. I think people really like that game. That's coming out for Nintendo Switch, so that's pretty chill. Street Fighter V Arcade Edition just came out January 16th.
That's the
PS4.
complete edition, right?
It's a complete edition, or the complete-ish edition.
Well, I think I get some stuff because I own the base game, was my understanding. I might get some free characters.
Oh, you might. That's pretty dope.
I think they're like not being scummy about Street Fighter V. I still think that you don't get like their season 3 characters, or maybe their
I think those aren't even out yet. Is the thing.
Yeah, but like I won't be getting those for free. But I think they are updating base games, which is really cool.
Yeah. Kerbal Space Program comes out for the PS4.
That game still's out.
In January 16th. It's already out, but for PS4 it comes out.
Damn.
But there's not really that much actually coming out, which is a little depressing. Like Darkest Dungeon comes out for the Switch in January 18th. So like small games, Night in the Woods, Switch as well, January 18th. So there's stuff coming out, but the big game,
the big daddy,
January 19th, Digimon Story Cyber Sleuth Hacker's Memory.
I thought you were gonna hit me with the other one.
I know you were. That's
out.
why I got you.
Can we talk about Digimon Cyber Stories, Cyber Sleuth?
So it's Digimon Story Cyber
Sleuth,
Sleuth, which was I've played the original one of that on the PS4.
I've seen some gameplay of it, and it reminds me of Shin Megami Tensei Nocturne with like the Amala network. You're running around this digitized world. With, instead of demons, they're just Digimon.
Yeah, you just so what the way to collect Digimon in that game, which I think is kind of fun. You just do random battles and just fills a meter up, and then once you get to 100, you just have them.
Oh, that's cool. So if you just fight the same dude,
yeah, you just get it. Yeah, and then you can get to 200%. They get a little better.
I hear that game's like good.
It's good. It seemed to fall off near the end. I got really close to the end. It just seemed to like not be as much fun. It seemed like a lot of grinding to get things. Hopefully it's fixed in the next one. I doubt it will be, but I'll play it again and see if I can get to the end this time.
It's like that really good mediocre game. That's like,
yeah,
this is actually like pretty competent.
Yeah, and also the music's pretty jamming.
Yes,
actually,
it
the
is.
music's really jamming.
We nominated that for best music last.
Yeah,
year.
that was me. That was me.
I was with you.
Yeah,
no one else was.
Yeah, well, yeah, we had Dark Souls 3 come on, which is truly the
best Latin chanting of the generation.
Fucking idiots, all of them. But Iconoclast comes out January 23rd, which is this action platformer game, which I've been seeing a lot of buzz start building up around it.
I haven't heard about this.
It's just like kind of like a side-scrolling platformer. It kind of looks almost Metroidvania-ish, maybe a little bit. I'm unsure about it. I've looked a lot into it, but I saw someone doing like a speed run of it, the early access version, and it looks really fucking good.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been hearing like a lot of buzz build up around that. So I can see that being a really cool game to come out. You scroll. There's a lot of like Dragon Ball Fighter Z, January 26th. That's a big one.
That's gonna sell a lot of copies.
Yeah, I already did because of the pre-order beta that happened. So that like lets you play as the characters in a beta.
That game's got a big roster.
Yeah, it's got Nappa.
That's how you know they're reaching for characters.
They have Goku. They got Goku Blue.
Shatsu
they got
Tien.
Goku Super Saiyan 3. They got Goku God form. They got Goku. That's like my favorite joke. It's like, there's a lot of characters. I'm like, yeah, there's Goku. There's Goku.
Normal
there's
Goku.
Yeah. Goku Type
fake.
2. Of course,
it was a mistranslation or something.
Yeah, but there's a lot of like also like Piccolo. I mean, I just want to play Piccolo. Piccolo's my favorite character.
I like Piccolo a lot.
Yeah.
Trunks.
Beerus from Super's in it, who's the cat god.
I don't like him.
I like Beerus. Beerus is actually pretty funny.
Cat.
He's a cat god. It's really
Egyptian cat man.
Yeah, and he like fucks everyone up hard because he's a god. But they're all getting stronger. Yep. But they're all best friends with Beerus. He's like, I will train you. But
he becomes a good guy.
Yeah. Dragon Ball Super is actually pretty funny. I think it like knows how dumb Goku is in a fun way. Like, but they just kind of just play up how fucking stupid Goku is.
Like Superman, they just embrace how his powers are just absurd.
Well, not that. It's just he's really stupid, and they're like, what do you? Didn't you kiss? She's like, what's a kiss? And you're like, you're like the mystery behind Goku having kids just gets thicker and thicker, and it's maybe the funniest thing.
Did it by accident?
Yeah, like right.
Jesus.
I really like all that dumb stuff with Goku.
Is Chi-Chi in it? Can I play as Chi-Chi?
No, you cannot play as Chi-Chi. You can play as Gohan when he's Super Saiyan 2 and Gohan when he's Mystic form.
What about Videl?
No.
Okay.
You can,
well,
I think
no one-
I don't think Satan. I think Satan's in it, but I'm unsure.
Oh, Satan's in it.
Mr.
Then that's
Satan.
main.
Yeah.
Fuck.
I would still play Piccolo or Majin Buu fat form
Yeah.
because
You're
that
a Majin Buu fan.
yeah Majin Buu's.
That
I
arc
like
is my
original
least favorite
Majin Buu.
arc.
It's a bad. I'll be ready to listen. It's a bad arc. I don't think that arc's very fun. I think Majin Buu though is like a great villain from Cell of just being this fat idiot who destroys everything. Everyone's like, "What the fuck? How do we beat him?" He's like, "I'm gonna turn you into candy." And you're like, "What
He's
the fuck?"
defeated with the power of love
They
from
do
Mr. Satan.
They do a spirit bomb.
Well, no, because then Kid Buu is bad. That's the problem.
Oh yeah.
Because he ate the big fat Kai.
Well, yeah, no, they kill Kid Buu with a spirit bomb,
Yeah.
but then like Fat Buu comes back and Mr.
They,
Satan's like,
they separated him from Kid
yeah,
Buu.
and then Mr. Satan's like, I'll take care of Majin Buu, and Majin Buu then becomes just a
Just a
good friend.
child.
Yeah, just like hangs out.
He's good.
Yeah, Majin Buu's good, and then Oob is the Dragon Ball GT.
Who's Oob?
So Dragon Ball GT happens, which is like not about Dragon Ball. It's like made from someone else, not Akira Toriyama.
Yeah.
And like there's like you know how there's like bad Buu. There's going to be eventually a good Buu on Earth, is what they say, and it's Oob, who's like this like kid who's as strong, it's like super strong.
I don't know this character.
Dragon Ball GT sucks, but I actually like a lot of ideas in Dragon Ball GT. Just all of them are super poorly executed. That's about it.
Sad.
But the real big January 26th game, the Big Mama, Big Papa, Monster Hunter Worlds comes out.
The big elder dragon.
Yeah, Big Elder Dragon, Big Cucumber coming back.
You're stoked.
That's the most excited I am for a game this year.
In a long time.
Well, not in a long time. I'm like excited. I was excited last year for Prey, like real
Yeah.
hard when it came out. So I heard all the great things. I don't know. I'm just like, yo, Monster Hunter for the consoles. Get hype, everyone.
It's a big deal.
The beta's this weekend. I've played. I don't know if we ever talked about the beta on this show. That I've played a bit of the beta.
Probably not.
Probably
'cause
not.
It's been a while.
That beta is amazing. It's really fun. They're doing the beta again for today. It starts today.
And you don't need PS Plus for this one, right?
For this one, you need PS Plus. I think.
Darn.
For the one before, you didn't.
I
need it.
missed that one.
And this one, they're adding a new monster to the beta.
To the lexicon.
Yeah.
Of
Well, not a new
monsters.
monster. Like there's a new hunt in there. It
Oh,
could be
okay.
another same monster. All I did was fight. I think I fought 2 new monsters and 1 older monster. But you can also fight a Rathalos, which is old. Rathalos is like the classic
Love
standby.
the Rathalos.
Standby. There's a Devil Hijo, like Devil Hijo kind of out there. I don't know all the names. I don't know how to say them.
Mhm.
But that game's really fucking cool. It was really great to play it. It looks really nice. That game's definitely going to be. I hope that game's really good. I pray.
It's got every opportunity to be the best Monster Hunter game.
Yeah, and I have a bunch of friends who are getting it on the PS4, so I have a lot of friends to play with. I think me and Thomas are actually going to play the beta together over the break.
All right.
Yeah, so I'm excited to play out with a friend. Me and my friend Neil played it last time together a little bit. That was real fun. It's just a really cool game. And like being able, I think they're going to extend the time limits in the game, but having monsters fight each other is really cool. Like having a monster run up in the middle of your fight and be like, I'm also here to fight, motherfuckers. And you're like, oh shit. And it's like, and it's obviously a weaker version of the monster you're fighting.
Mhm.
So like getting fucked up by the monster you're fighting and it just becomes like a whole clusterfuck. It's really cool. And like destructible environment stuff. All that stuff's really interesting.
Sounds like a lot more moving parts.
Yeah, there's a lot more moving parts, and you can also move a lot more with like you have like a rope swing, and it just
And an analog stick.
an analog stick too. It's like an insane
Oh my
world you live
God.
in. It's cool. It's really cool, and I hope it turns out to be really good.
Yeah, and it looks really nice too.
Yeah, I think that game could be supported really well too, with like good free updated content over time, which would be fun.
You like talk about Destiny as a platform. Make fucking Monster Hunter a platform, dude.
The Monster Hunter 4 for the 3DS was a platform.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah, I think-
implement that for Monster Hunter World, and that's just.
I think
like,
if
a
it
recipe
sells
for
well,
success.
it can definitely be a platform.
I don't see how it's not going to sell well, dude.
Oh, yeah, neither do I. But like,
There's
I hope.
momentum.
I hope. You gotta hope. And like
You
those
gotta
betas, they've been pushing those betas out well. They've been releasing like their Twitter accounts. Like
Sony's
good.
behind this shit.
Yeah, Sony's behind that Twitter account is good. Being like, hey, the cucumber's back because there's like a monster called like. I actually forget its names. I just call it the cucumber
Some,
every
like,
time.
Cactar, like.
Yeah, no, it's just a big green like T-Rex with like a large chin.
Oh.
And so everyone just calls it the cucumber. So it looks like a big old cucumber with legs. And they're like, cucumber's back, boys. And like the cucumber's like runs, like eats a monster, but it's like one of the stronger variants.
Mhm.
But like hopefully hopefully there are a lot more new monsters and a lot more old monsters returning, and the variants are fun, and hopefully they add more moveset stuff.
And there's a story mode.
Is there?
I think.
Oh yeah,
so.
there's a story mode in everyone. There's a
trailer.
story mode in everyone. To be honest,
I want a story in my Monster
there is
Hunter.
you go to you usually go from like town to town and you do like hunts in each town. There's like a special hunt that you have to do, but you usually just want to do every single one for money.
Yeah.
And then like get your better gear because you have to do the same hunts over and over again to
Clear
get
that
better gear.
request board.
Game's good. I'm excited to play some more of it. Hopefully the menu stuff's really good. I'm just just waiting my time away. I'm like hoping.
Mhm.
And there's some more games I think. I just like put my phone away because I was like, I'm done. Monster Hunter. That's the last game I need to play for this whole.
I mean, Dragon Ball and
Yeah.
Monster Hunter are the big two.
Yes.
Ys.
Ys
Ys.
8 is coming out.
Ys 8 was already out on PS4. Is it coming to
So
Switch
what they've
now?
been doing, they've also like reworked that game completely, I've heard.
Yeah, because the localization was
So
like
that's what I wanted to talk about.
garbage.
Yeah, so I heard they almost rewrote the whole story from the
Jesus.
ground up. Because
Wait,
it
the
was so
localization team? Because the Japanese story was bad?
or no, like either like they're upping that game to like change it or something's happening. I don't know what. Maybe the localization wasn't bad, but that fucking story was bad. They might be changing it all. I've heard they've done stuff. I would need to actually look into that. Like that's interesting to me.
Oh,
And then
jeez.
Dissidia Final Fantasy NT comes out January 30th.
It's a big deal for Square.
Yeah, I mean, I
It's
never
on
liked
their
a Dissidia
financials.
game in my life, but
I never tried them, but like they look cool. I like seeing those characters realized in that engine.
they look cool, and that's about all I can get out of those games.
I like those
time.
animations. I watch Titus do some flips and run through the air. Makes me happy.
True.
The idea of like a fighting game with Final Fantasy characters sounds really
It's a good idea.
appealing.
Yeah, that's an idea.
It's a shame it hasn't caught on as well. Like I think just make like Soul Calibur of that or something. Be pretty
I
cool.
think you should just put your characters in Soul Calibur or something.
Maybe.
Maybe just put Cloud in a Soul
But
Calibur. name.
Noctis and Soul Calibur too.
He's in Tekken.
I know.
7.
Just port him right over.
God, Final
Soul
Fantasy
Calibur
15.
7 or 6. What's this one this year?
What's the Soul Calibur this year?
7?
I think it's 7.
Is there a 6 currently available on the market? Because then it would be 7.
Yeah, it's 8. They've actually skipped.
Just
one.
call Thomas. Just
Yeah, I'm sending Thomas a text. Soul Calibur
question mark.
7. Soul Calibur 6 announced.
Wow, they skipped 6. Really
Yeah,
weird. They gotta
yeah.
come back to it. A
It's
really
6.
interesting way of telling a story.
It's 6.
Okay.
We're wrong.
All right.
We don't know anything about fighting
I
games.
don't know anything about video games.
That's true. Well, let's get into games that we've been playing that we know about, but there's not much else to talk about. There was news over probably this whole thing, but we've been gone for a bit, and we want to talk about the games we've been playing.
Yeah,
We're
didn't
gonna-
really speak to any of us.
Yeah, we're also going to skip the Game of the Year discussion stuff because we have our own to do on Video Game After Live.
Yeah, you nailed it.
Okay, good. Making sure. I was looking at you like, fuck.
I didn't name it. I inherited the name.
Yeah, we
Can't
inherited the
change
name.
it.
It's it's a legacy title.
Peter loves the name.
Yeah, he does. I mean, we're doing Video Game Other Live.
Yeah,
now,
enough
which,
for him to fall in love with Other Live.
which I'm not.
It's
a
so
huge-
bad.
It's real bad. But honestly, I don't care enough anymore. There's my actual answer about the titling. I'm like, fuck it, whatever, right? We still haven't figured out what we should make the art of our podcast of yet. So like, we're still fuck ups in our own right.
Hey, we came into a good name.
Yeah, we have.
We spent a long time.
I gotta
on
be
the
honest,
name.
with you, just on topic. We have to figure out the fucking art of this podcast eventually.
The art.
Like,
Oh,
yeah, we have to do
we're
that.
like a year in now, almost, right?
Yeah, we should really start figuring that shit out. So if I want to put this on an RSS feed, I really want the art first. But we'll
Give
get
me
that.
5 hours with MS Paint.
Yeah. Well, no, actually, my brother for Christmas gave me he knows a graphic designer who would do the art for us for like a nominal fee that I would help pay, but he paid for most of it already.
Wow.
And we just need to give her what the actual thing we want is. So that's more or less what I'm going for. And if he didn't, I know people who who are trying to major in graphic. Like I could pay them. We just need to come up with something eventually.
Picture of Kazuma
Yeah.
dancing.
Yeah. It's Kiryu dancing.
I keep calling him Kazuma. I mix them all up.
I know. It's just Goro and
I'm
Kiryu
bad.
kissing, and then it's us next to going like, and that's the picture.
Dakota's behind them.
Yeah.
And the chicken.
And the chicken has all the money in his hand because he's the manager. All right.
I'm tired. I'm sorry.
No, it's
I called
good.
him Kazuma.
I know. I was like, looked at you like
I'm a fucking idiot. It's been a long week. Happy first week of school.
Yeah, happy first week of school. We missed one day off the top because it got iced. We got ice in Austin.
Yeah, we got iced.
We got snowed in Austin, which is weird.
And then it wasn't even that bad.
No,
Although
I
it
mean,
was fucking cold.
I think the Tuesday was actually really bad.
It was pretty bad.
It was
I
pretty
went to take the
rough.
trash out in my like pajamas and like basketball shorts. Bad move.
Mistakes were made. I mean, I remember Evan picking me up on that day to hang out, and like I tried to open the door to like his car and it was frozen shut. So I had to just rip the door open.
My roommate had to dump water on her car to like open the door.
Yep.
Like
Mhm.
she had to make trips filling
Be
up a
careful though.
bowl.
Don't touch you don't want to hit the glass with that because that would shatter the glass probably.
I don't have a car. Not my
Yeah.
problem.
My car's inside a lot.
I'm
so.
happy you have a car again.
God, so am I. I don't get groceries again. That's what I'm gonna do. To probably tomorrow morning at like 7 a.m. I'm gonna go get groceries.
You beat the rush.
Oh yeah, I did that last time, and it was just me there, and I didn't take a shower, so like my hair was straight up. But I got chicken, and it was good.
Dude, I love Heb.
Um,
Good deals.
let's talk
Sponsored
about
by
games we've been playing.
Yeah, please, I want you to start.
Okay.
So we have a long time. We've had a gap here of about almost 2 months, I want to say.
Yeah, so what I'm going to say is if you want to hear us talk about probably the games we played over break for holiday season and stuff that were like less important than we talk about now. Like I played a lot of Xenoblade Chronicles 2. I played a lot of Mario. We're probably going to talk about that I'll probably talk about Xenoblade on here, but I'm not going to talk about Mario until the Game of the Year podcast.
No, I kind of want to talk about Mario a little bit.
All right, well, whatever. We'll talk about
I've
shit
watched
like we
some
normally
Mario
do.
critiques and thought about Mario a little bit.
I've been thinking about Mario Dog, and I've been the way I've been thinking about Mario is the way I've been thinking about Zelda this whole time.
Yeah.
Yeah, which I still
I think
Mario's
Zelda's
better.
better.
Yeah, see,
Good.
like, that's the
This
difference.
is good.
Yeah,
I can't wait.
because I think I can play Mario and I don't like playing Zelda. But the game that I want to get into that I've actually really liked, that Joe also really liked and didn't talk about that much on this show, Tales of Berseria.
So I actually talked about it.
You did.
Very, very early.
But not a lot.
Not a lot, because we can get into this now.
So I remember the last thing you talked about on that, because I remember this specifically was I got there, was the man gets so mad that he can't make the best sword, he becomes a sword. I got that
spoiled
man.
this for you now. Yeah, you
Yeah.
got Kurogane.
Look, so the thing is, I don't give a shit about spoilers.
I know
it's
you
about
don't.
me. So when I got there, I was like, this is what Joe's like. This is fucking cool.
You can't do this game justice when you're talking about
Yeah.
it. You just have to fucking
and
experience
then those swords
it.
break.
And he puts his fucking head into a sword.
Yeah.
And it still breaks.
Yeah. And then he's like, I will come with you to make a better sword. And
You just have a headless armor man.
So let's get into Tales of Berseria, which is you described it from the perspective of someone who's played the previous game, which you don't like, but how that recontextualizes the story in this game really well.
Super context. I'm a huge Tales fan.
Yeah, you
I'm
played
like
every Tales game.
I played 11 of the 16.
Jesus.
And that's basically I'm missing 2 of the English ones and then 3 Japanese ones.
I played a bit
own
of
2 of the
Symphonia,
Japanese
and
ones.
people just said, hey, you should just play Vesperia.
That's
And
what
was
I
like,
said.
Yeah. But that's what people said before me. And I'm like,
Okay.
yeah, I should probably just do that eventually.
A lot of people love Symphonia. It's a whole thing. We need to get into it.
Yeah. It was bad.
I think it's average.
That seems about right. Yeah, I agree. The Digimon
So the point is, though, Tales as a series, I think, is like super overlooked in general. Like not just in general gaming, because I think JRPGs are kind of overlooked, but I think in JRPG space itself, people don't talk about or really take Tales seriously. It's always Final Fantasy, Shin Megami Tensei, Dragon Quest, like those are the big 3.
Persona.
Tales is always like right under there, but it's always on the cusp. No one really like. It's not as huge, even though like the games are always there. They've been there just as long, basically, and like they're super relevant still. They're super important. They put out their games very often, and I think they're really fun and really like good. Dare I say?
Yeah.
They're super cheesy. They're super anime, but like it embraces that in such a way that I think is super charming.
So I tried to hop onto this train. I was like, I'm gonna try with Symphonia. I'm gonna do it.
Yeah.
Because everyone told me Symphonia was like, that's the one, man.
That's the nostalgia baby one.
That's the baby one. And I played it and I was like, this is shit.
That's
like,
the first one that got big in the West.
Yeah, and I played it and I was like, I don't like this game at all. And so I stopped playing Tales. I'm like, Tales aren't for me.
First 3D Tales.
And then Joe was like, you gotta really play Berseria. And then it went on sale real hard because apparently no one bought this game. And I was like, seems like my end.
Like I said, no one really cares about this series. Everyone overlooks the game. So
this one seems even more overlooked than the other ones.
I've been beaten to a pulp as a Tales fan where I've like accepted no one cares about this series I really love because I love this series.
Yeah.
But I've just accepted like that's cool. It's just a me thing. Like whatever. So even then, like I think Berseria is super good, but like I am cooled on it in talking about it because I think people just don't care.
Yeah, and then I was like, I got it. And I was like, hey, Joe, I'm playing it. And you were like, my God.
I stopped everything I was doing and started texting you.
Yeah, we texted for like 30 minutes at some point.
I never get to talk to anyone about these games.
Yeah, this is another Etrian Odyssey for you, isn't it?
Basically.
Yeah, so I was like, hey, I'll give it a try. You really like this game, and I respect your opinion.
And I
to
start
be like,
to think
I'll
I'm
try.
just a crazy person.
Yeah, and I play it, and I'm like, this game's really good. This game's really funny.
I feel so relieved that you like this game and I'm not crazy.
Yeah, so I don't know if I like the combat that much, mostly because I just don't think I fully grasp it yet. Like, even in my own head, I'm just, like, not getting it a little bit. Like, I'm only pressing A, and I'm, like, just starting to realize, I'm like, I can press A, X, A, like, I can... But I'm like still trying to figure out combo. Like there's so many moves that like trying to figure out when that ends and when I should be praying. So I'm like the constant like hey, like I'm like just and then I switch to X, but like I've already gone to my second combo and I fuck up my own combo.
Yeah.
But I'm like but I'm getting it. I still need to play only as Velvet because I'm like
once
you
bother
introduced it, I was
mixing
like
that up,
oh I pressed up on the D-pad. Now I'm playing as Laphicet and he's like hold A. I'm like oh no,
casting spells.
Yeah, and I'm like freaking out. But let's talk about like that combo system is really fucking cool. So how it works is you have you in combat you just move around this 3D like almost arena space, and you have A, X, Y, and B. And A, you can assign 4 moves to each button.
So it's a directional thing.
Yeah.
It's the face buttons and then whatever direction you're holding on the stick.
Yeah. Or if like some mails are like, hey, if you press X, you're just gonna go left. No matter what, it's a left for that one.
Yes.
And so like it's really exciting. And then they all have elements like this is a normal attack, this is an earth attack, this is a water attack, this is wind, fire, all this nonsense. Oh, and also they're good against crustaceans.
Yes,
and
there's attributes.
And there's attributes, and then there's martial arts, which are your combo lead-ins. Then your hidden arts, which are like they take less SP if you do martial arts before them. Correct? That's how that works. Yeah.
That's where it gets a little too granular that it's less relevant, especially like unless you're going for like maximum optimal.
To me, it's
plays
like
and,
do
difficulties.
just put 2 martial arts and a hidden art. Like that's
exactly.
That's,
like you can do this in a really simplified format.
Yeah.
I think it presents itself as kind of overwhelming. It's very complicated. It's like deep, but you don't need to dive that deep because you can just mash through that game, especially on like the normal difficulties.
Which I'm playing on, and it still provides like a decent enough challenge, I think, especially for someone who's like, I'm really bad at RPGs. I play a lot of them. I'm garbage at them, especially ones that like require me to be like think more than be like level up a lot and then go for it. Like when it comes to that, I'm like actually really bad. So like this game's pretty good. Like assuming they go like one-on-one fights from like kind of back.
Those
away.
are when it gets fun, especially
like,
because of how dodging works in this game.
Yeah, and dodging is like you hold LB to block, which uses the enemy's soul a lot if they try to hit you a bunch.
Talk about souls.
Yeah, and then you like dash around them, which is kind of fun. I haven't really figured out the dashing too well yet, but I think I'm getting there.
There's a resource that's souls, and the idea is that's the amount of moves you can do consecutively.
Yeah, so you can assign 4 to move, but you always start with like 3 unless you do a back attack. Then you start with 4.
Well, you steal them from the opponent,
you
so they're
steal them.
actively losing one.
And they
and
have
then
like
you can pick
it's
it
like a
up
little
and gain
star gauge on them. So if you like, let's say stun them, they lose a soul. You gain that soul, and then you can spend soul to do bigger moves. So it becomes like this whole like fighting system of like you try to. And then if you get really good, I guess you could switch out party members who've lost soul, and then switch into a good party member who's got the soul.
And you continue the combo like
Yeah.
in like a Marvel vs. Capcom. You're just like actually pressing down on the D-pad. Someone who's not currently in the party in the battlefield jumps in place of you. You control them, and you just keep the combo going.
And you always have around 4 party members in a fight at a time.
4, and there's 6 party members.
Yeah, there's 6 party members. So
and
4.
You can manually like move other people out. They can do it on their own.
It's good.
And you throw in Mystic Arts.
Yeah, you throw Mystic Arts. So like Mystic Arts are like probably the simplest part of that. Actually, it's just like
that's your super
you hold LT when you got the break up and you just fucking kill a man.
Well, you have level 1.
Yeah,
there's level 3.
I don't doubt it. Like
they're harder to pull off.
Yeah, so I only have like whatever vengeful pain. I don't know. I don't know what they are. And then I just got like the consuming claw to like the downward swipe claw now.
Yeah, because you can start using I forget they're not called soul burst arts or whatever, but it's this complicated thing where you press R2.
So if you're playing Velvet, you press like RT, right trigger.
Every character has a unique version of this super kind of in between move. Velvet's is she uses her demon hand, which is amazing.
Yeah.
And she absorbs the element of whatever she just hit, and that gives you a distinct benefit that's going to benefit you when you come out of the attack, when you do your finishing move.
Yep.
I love the human one where she just starts screaming and slashing everywhere.
She's just like a slash up and keeps juggles the person in the air. And so it becomes a game of like you have this combo meter building when you're attacking one person and then trying to figure out the perfect time to use your mystic art or whatever. What's the last thing called? What's the LT move?
Well, I forget what one.
Yeah, whatever. Called. Like you're pretty much your ultra move to like break the combo even higher.
And Velvet's especially is very strong. I think that's kind of what unbalances the game at the end of the day. Velvet's very powerful.
Well, yeah, Velvet's very powerful. She is the main character, so like I think she gets the. But then again, like I play as Laphicet and he like murders motherfuckers.
Laphicet can like disable damage, I think, to everyone for a few seconds. Aizen, if someone's knocked down or stunned, he does this huge damage ball he throws at them. He like jumps in the air.
Yeah.
And he can later combo that into another attack where he dives down.
I think everyone's efficiently strong.
They're all very good for sure, but Velvet's is the easiest to just like wreck with.
Which I think is like I almost appreciate it a lot more because it's like that I'm like very confused. This is my first Tales of games. So like this is a lot. It's a lot to throw. Like it's like I'll be like, hey, here's 9 tutorial messages, and I'm like, oh shit. And I'm like trying to read it, and I'm like, wait, what the fuck is? Then I like, but it's really, I think it's really accessible because you can pause mid combat and be like, hey, I'm gonna select my arts real quick and like look. And be like, okay, so I'm gonna put like
the art tree is like visually easy to understand once you
like,
get it.
Okay, for my so like now like my A is like earth into armor break.
I love
and
that
did
armor
that.
break move.
And so I'm like, okay, then my wind one's gonna be here. This is really good for finding. And then like since each area has like only like a few monsters set to it, you can have like a good stable art selection that you can kind of switch to. So like, here's my zombie killing, here's my rock killers, here's my like stable one that I really like using, and here's my like off-brand special one too.
Because you'll do more damage if you hit like a zombified enemy with a zombified like attribute attack.
Yeah, and you'll probably get that stun quicker, so you can drop into getting that consuming claw out,
Right.
and then begin the monster killing spree.
So as you're playing, you're like, oh shoot, I have to do like up X instead of normal X this time against this specific enemy. It's a really fast, fluid system that's a lot of fun, and they give you the complete customization for it. Because in earlier games, there's been a similar system, like Graces specifically. They don't let you customize that art tree. It's like it unlocks, and it's like, oh no, this is just the move that's on standard X.
Okay.
So this is the game that's like go wild.
Yeah, and they give you a shit ton of moves. Like they're like so many moves that you'll look at them and go, I just can't use. Like I just don't know where to slot this in anymore.
You have more moves than you have art slots.
Yeah, it's pretty wild. And then like you upgrade them as you use them. So like, and you use them quite a bit. Like I've gotten over 1,000.
The normal move where she just does a kick is like so
I
high.
took slicing kick off like instantly. I was like, I don't need slicing kick. So it's like really the earth one that like you rest A, X, Y. Just that one has like over 2,000. That's my leader, and it goes pop them, and then like I'm instantly like, let's go.
Because you gotta be careful because you want your start one to be low TP, so you can combo out of it.
Yeah, and like my Y one's all the high cost martial arts. So I'll be like XX armor break, then Y into like harder martials and back into it. It's really fun.
And at any time in a battle, you can pause the game and rearrange them if you feel like you have a bad strategy.
Which is the best part. Like I think like that part, if that wasn't in the game, it'd be really shit. I'd actually get really mad. But being able to like pause and be like, okay, this guy, I wish it would show the monsters maybe a little bit easier too.
Sure.
Like it'd be like, hey, these are what you're fighting right now, and you'd be like, okay, I want to slot in this, and this to fight them.
You can like hold down one of the R1.
You hold
L1s.
RB and you can see what the monsters. But like I like it if like you went to arts, it could also show that still. Just to be like, hey, this is what you're doing. So I feel even if it was like even like at that point like they already let you do that kind of. I'm gonna hold RB. And I'm like, it's a bird. It's weak against wind and it's strong against hidden arts. Okay, so I'm gonna put a lot of martial arts on here and then put one hidden art at the end. And so I go like
and there's 3 kinds of arts. There's like martial, hidden, and the spell equivalent one. And like each character does 2 art types. So that's the idea of like characters you want to combine them effectively in a party. So it's like Magilu can only do hidden and like casters, no martials.
Yeah, so it's stuff like that, and all the characters feel like unique and different in their own way, and it's really good. And then speaking of characters, all the characters in the game are pretty good.
I love that cast a lot.
Yeah, I don't think I hate any character, which is really rare.
That's
for
like
me.
such a thing. Me too. Like to say in a JRPG like all of these characters are like good, I don't dislike any of these, is such a strong compliment.
Maybe I won't like some of like the secondary characters as much, but like that main cast, like your main crew, your party members are really good. I actually like the main character. I like that you can customize their appearance. I don't like Velvet's original outfit's real dumb. Even they comment how dumb it is, which is weird. That game's weird.
I like the mummy arm.
Yeah, the mummy arm. She always has the mummy arm. Let's be honest. She never did, but like every time they're always just like, I'm always like, all right, like what? But then like I put on the villager outfit, and so for every cutscene that's not anime or the vignettes,
they're all in engine.
They're all in engine. So like no matter what, it's always my outfit. So like people look stupid and funny, but like also like I like it way more sometimes. Like
it's fun.
It's fun. It's really fun. It's really, and it knows it's stupid. Like
it's a good example of the game going like do whatever you want.
Yeah,
like
have fun.
We understand what this is. Like just giving the player the choice to like have fun and make their characters look goofy.
Yeah, and all the characters are like really fun. You have Velvet, who's like this hellbent, and so like the game is like much like trying to paint them as they're very anti-hero groups. Yeah, the rogues. You know, they're all very good people at the end of the day.
That's the thing. I talked about this in my review that never came out. Is it's like they try and do this moral dilemma that's like supposed to be not black and white, but it ends up being pretty black and white by the end of it. It's like, oh no, they're kind of in the right here.
Well, they're kind of in the right at the very beginning almost, and then the only one who's like somewhat, who I would say almost is the evilest one is Rokuro.
I think Aizen is also not a great person.
Yeah,
that's the thing is they're like right, but they're also like still kind of shitty
they're
people.
They're very broken people.
Well, like Aizen will kill people for his goals. Like that's a plot point they talk about.
Breaks fingers and like he's a Batman of his like. Where Rokuro is like straight up like
Rokuro embraces he's a fucking demon.
Yeah, so like my favorite part about Rokuro is like I'm playing D&D and Rokuro is literally the character I made, which is like I'm really here to fight and I'll help my friends out. But like that's my line I've drawn. Like everything else, good, bad, who cares? I'm here to fight and help my friends. That's all I care about. So Rokuro is literally my D&D character and done better because someone wrote this character. Mm-hmm. And like that's why I like him a lot because he comes off as the most evil because he's very neutral about how he feels. He's like, don't get in my way. I'm here to fight. I'll murder you if you get in
Yeah.
my way, but I'm telling you this as a friend.
So I love hearing you say that because I thought Rokuro was the most like underbaked just in comparison. I felt he was kind of just relatively bland compared to everyone else because there wasn't much going on with him, but I really appreciate that perspective on him.
Yeah, like he's very like I think his so everyone else has like these like high ideals and Rokuro's like I don't give a shit
He's
about
a
your
simple
high
man.
ideals. Like I'm here to fight. And if you get in the way of the fight I want, I will fucking murder you. and I love that like Lavisa tries to help him and he like, almost kills him.
Yeah.
Because everyone's like he's like, whoa, calm down. He's like, actually that is my bad. And like goes into pot.
He loses
It's a
his
very
cool.
good scene where he's like, I actually did lose my cool. And then he goes into like it's where they have like that character like actually going like I'm gonna apologize and I am gonna tell you if you do get in my way I will fucking kill you. But that was actually he goes that's actually my bad what I just did. I did not tell you. That's my bad.
The banter is like top notch.
It's top notch. I
The
think like
interactions of a party are incredible. In this game.
I think there's a great scene. What's the new character I just got? I can't remember her name off the top of my head. So I haven't got Eleanor, where like someone just goes like, "Yeah, Eleanor, you'd never lie," and like everyone like looks at her because
everyone knows she's the traitor.
Yeah, so like she's like a traitor. Let's get into this whole cast. We started off we got off topic real quick there, but the character cast is really good. But Velvet is so the setup is Shepard Artorias, right? That's the character's name.
Brother-in-law.
Her brother-in-law Artorias kills Velvet's brother pretty much to make people exorcists
to sacrifice him for some greater purpose.
Yeah, some
which is
greater. I
still
don't know.
unclear to you.
Unclear to me. And so Velvet goes crazy, becomes a demon.
He turns her into a demon essentially and traps her in prison for years.
Yeah, and traps her in like 3 years.
Yeah,
For 3 years.
That's
And
years.
so yeah, it's a couple years. It's a rough fucking time, and then you break out and are going on like a revenge mission to kill him, and you collect this eclectic group of misfits to go and help you on this adventure, who are all sort of need to head to where Shepard Artorias is because he becomes the shepherd. So after you break out of prison, it's like 3 years later, everyone now pretty much worships him as like the savior of the world because his demons had infested the world.
He's the hero.
He's the hero. But you're like, well, at what cost? What is he? Blah blah blah, all that good stuff. But like I kind of game doesn't paint it. It's like what's really everyone's like, no, he's a fucking evil person. Like and like and you're supposed to be like agreeing with Velvet on this, even if you don't agree with Velvet's ways.
Even though Velvet gets kind of crazy during that
Yeah.
part where she like, climbs the wall, I think she was a little too much.
Well, Velvet's crazy. Like
Yeah.
that's like you're not supposed to like maybe agree with her as a person, but you agree that like what Shepard Artorias did is he's literally killed a child.
He like did this to her. You can
Yeah.
like empathize with her in that way.
Yeah, like she's maybe not right, but Shepard Artorias is definitely not right. Like that's how it works. And like everyone's like sort of like kind of sees it, and other people are like he's the greatest man alive, and you're like fuck you.
Well, that's
pretty
why
much.
it's great that Eleanor's in the party now because she's the Shepard Artorias apologist.
Yeah, she's the other side. But then you get Rokuro as your second guy you get.
You run into him in the prison while you're doing a prison break.
Yeah, you're doing a prison break, and he's there, and he almost kills you. He's like in the middle of like a bloodlust moment. You're like, hey, I saw your sword. And he's like, you're my best friend now.
Breaks the bloodlust. He
Yeah.
just becomes this goofy dude all of a sudden.
He's just like big goof. He's like this really dumb, like big goof guy who I really like. I actually think he's one of my favorites. And then he joins you up later, and then you get Aizen, and you get number 2.
Yamagilu, but she doesn't.
Well,
fight
she doesn't
with
join you.
you.
Magilu doesn't join you, but she like always is there as like a backup asshole.
I think she's technically like the best character in that game, even though she's not my personal favorite. I think she has the most going on. Which she'll get to.
I'll eventually get to what her stuff is going on, but she is this exorcist, obviously, but calls herself a witch, but is obviously an exorcist. I'm a witch, and she's like this crazy, like eccentric witch character who obviously has stuff going on, who won't reveal it, but she's pretty funny and she's very powerful.
She's this incredibly like
arrogant, haughty,
aloof, like she doesn't care about anything. She's the butt of all the jokes, even though she acts dumb, but she knows what's going on.
Yeah.
She has the best banter.
Yeah,
like,
she's
the
like
best one-liners.
She's constantly trying to like fuck with everyone
Yeah.
in a way, but like in a way everyone already knows she, except for like Lafiset knows she's like fucking.
no one plays her out though. Just, they just
everyone's, like,
make jokes like fuck this witch. Like,
yeah, and but like also people like enjoy her. Like I think it's very that group's like very mean and sweet at the same time. It's a very interesting dynamic. I think it's gonna get better hopefully as it goes on.
We'll talk about the party dynamic as a whole, but keep going.
And then you get Aizen, who like actually joins the party,
That's
his favorite. He's the Reaper. He's another. So the big thing with this game is you have exorcists, who are these powerful like warriors who can use malachims, who are like spirits that are they're let them use their magic.
They're like elemental people, basically.
Yeah, they're like elemental spirit people.
Yeah.
And he's a malachim who doesn't have an exorcist. He's like on his own man. Or he has an exorcist and I don't know about it yet. It's one of the two. We'll see.
He's like, because they have to like, play
Oh, yeah,
possess something.
yeah,
he's anchored to their ship.
Yeah, he's
He's a
anchored to the
pirate.
coin. He's
And
anchored
the
to
coin.
the coin.
I think
Yeah.
he's both.
And he apparently has really bad luck, but
He's like his domain, as they describe it, is like he just has the worst luck. He has the Reaper's curse.
yeah, the
So,
Reaper's curse.
in the cheesiness spirit, like these characters play into their shit. Like Velvet is just a crazy woman, and
Yeah.
she's
Well,
so edgy.
Yeah, I don't think it's that. I think she's like they play into her, like, so she has a demon claw that we have to describe this part. So she becomes a demon, but the thing is she
She's a
looks the
Therian.
same. Her arm becomes like a demon hand,
It's so good.
and that demon hand can eat other demons
And
gain
and
their power.
It can eat people.
It can
too.
eat people. It can eat
eats
anything.
Things.
But then she knows a demon eater because she usually just eats demons. That's
Yeah.
what you fight. And so she doesn't, and like demons don't feel cold or hot. But like they also like lose certain things. Like if
She has
you
no
eat a
sense
demon,
of taste.
and she has no sense of taste. So she's always hungry, and she can only taste blood. So she plays into that. She's like, she just takes her hand. I'm gonna eat him. And it's really good.
It's like, if you don't want to pay my orders, I'm gonna eat you.
Yeah. I'm just gonna eat you.
And they make jokes. MacLeod's like, oh, he'll be a nice snack. Great.
Yeah. Everyone makes fun of her for like eating everyone. It's kind of fucked up, but it's pretty good.
But like she just plays into it.
Yeah.
Like they go all the way with her edginess to where like I just love it. Like,
Yeah, and she obviously plays herself into it, and like there's like a great thing about
She's
that character.
brooding.
Yeah, very brooding, but also like a sweet, like always is that sweet sister.
There's
Because
something underneath.
because there's that character that you get where you get number 2, Malachim, also who's like looks like her little brother, whose name is Laphicet, and they named this kid Laphicet. So
and he was
Laphicet's
a
the person.
slave
Yeah, he
because
was a s-
basically the Malachim are enslaved.
Yeah, they're like
to,
enslaved people, pretty much like enslaved magical
to
beings.
the order Artorias is built.
Yeah, because the order Artorias is built completely on logic, and that like logic rules out emotions.
Logic versus emotion.
Yeah, it's the very logic versus emotion thing, which I really like that it chose to do the emotion side of it. 'Cause I think it's
Yes.
much sweeter and has like a lot more to it. So that it comes off as these broken people who care a lot about each other. It's very sweet. And I'm really hoping it's really more into the caring part soon. I think they care about certain members, but I hope they all come together collectively. It seems like they will, and it seems like it'll be very sweet. I really like it.
That's one of my favorite moment of the year is the cheesiest moment from Berseria until I got to Rudy.
So and then so
But
you have-
back to Eisen,
Yeah,
he
so-
plays into his like
yeah.
Batmanness. He's like, I'm the Reaper. He always talks about
I'm
the
the
Reaper's
Reaper's
curse,
curse,
and he
yeah.
flips the coin every time.
And it lands on tails every time.
Because every time he flips the coin, it's tails because he has
Yeah.
bad luck, and bad shit keeps happening to everyone around him. Like now that he's in your party, like just unfortunate shit happens
and,
to you.
and you always blame it on him. And he's
always
like, it's my
"Oh,
fault.
It's
Yeah.
my fault. He's like, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, it's shit like that.
Just a manly pirate.
And so I really like Laphicet, who's like number 2, and then he changes into Laphicet.
I think Laphicet's character is like amazing that he's
Yeah.
good. You
Yeah.
texted me that.
I texted you that because he's like this little kid character, but he's also like he's very not used. He's like trying to look. He's very much like the classic like robot trying to become human.
He's
character.
a naive little boy who
Yeah.
was just freed from slavery.
Well, he's not
where
like a
he
naive
didn't have
little.
emotions.
He's not even Yeah, he's like he has no emotion. Now he's like getting emotions, becoming human, more human, and so like
because
that
they
whole
can't like
change,
think freely is
Yeah.
the way Malachim work.
Yeah, or that they're trained not to think freely. They can definitely think freely
Well,
because
they're
you
like
have
the
Eisen.
way. Well, that's he's not bound to the Abbey. That's
Yeah.
why he can think freely.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like they're trained by
Yes.
the Abbey to not think freely. So you get number 2, who's they call him number 2, and they eventually call him Laphicet because Velvet has problems with losing her brother.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, and
Watched
so
him get stabbed in the chest.
yeah, like he got like impaled on a cross
That
of
was
light.
censorship.
Yeah,
In the original version, he just fucking stabs him.
that's dope.
Yeah, we cut it.
It's fine. It still looks really.
It still looks cool.
The sword of light in the air is pretty dope as well too. The game's not very bloody when it should be bloody, but I think that's censorship stuff, I guess. Yeah. Rogoro puts his hand through his sword and goes to try to kill
I
his brother.
love
It's
that
fucking
scene.
dope. We'll get gotta stop. This
His
game.
brother's good.
This is a game I think I'm gonna beat sometime, maybe end of next month. I'll probably something like that. Depends on how long it is, really. That we might just have to sit down and have like a talk like Persona 5 about.
60
it.
hours.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna take me longer
Yeah.
than that.
Well, I'm saying that's like the length.
Gotcha. I think I'm like not. I think I'm pretty long.
You're
into
probably
it.
a third in.
Yeah. Maybe I don't know.
Ish,
I might be
ish.
taking. I might be taking long as I talk to every.
You're done
person
the
in
first
town.
act now that you have Eleanor and everyone's together. Like
I
you
talked to
realigned your
everyone
goals.
in the-
You
in the
should.
town,
Have you
yeah.
talked to the priest?
Yeah, of
And he's
course.
like, confess your sins.
Yeah, and
Every
you're like, I'm a
character's-
murderer.
Every character's unique dialogue.
Oh,
They're
so
all
I
good.
only use Velvet, so.
No, different priests in different towns. You'll like
Oh, okay.
do it again.
So I talked to the first priest, and he was just like.
Yeah.
And he was just like, confess your sins. You're like, well, I've.
But it just confesses everything.
Yeah, it just tells him like I'm a demon. I've been eating demons. I broke out of prison, killed a bunch of like.
Now I want to kill the
Yeah,
hero
now
Artorias.
I want to kill the hero. Like it's just like, what do you think of that, priest? And he's like, ah! It's so good.
You could pick any character you want as your like avatar in the overworld.
Yeah,
That's cool. It's
you
great.
can play as anyone at all times. It seems like it's a really
This game
fucking
gives
good
the players so much freedom in ways that the previous games, Asteria, that it's tied to, does not. Like that's what's so remarkable about this game is that the last game, I can only relate it to like Final Fantasy 13. Like imagine there was a sequel to 13, like 13-2, that takes place in the same world, but it like flips everything on its head that was bad and makes it all good in ways that you didn't think the team could do.
Yeah,
Like things that were bad in the first game are being used to good effect in this game.
we have to finish all these characters up before I go crazy.
I'm sorry, I
No,
keep
no
getting off
problem.
topic.
Yeah, we like this game quite a bit, but just talked. So it's the last character,
Not
true
good.
last character. No, it's Eleanor. We haven't
Oh, it's
talked about
Eleanor.
Eleanor. And Eleanor's like just joined the party. Like this is the tail end of the last scene, like the very the tie off, which I'll just spoil right now, is I think it's like it's obvious what's gonna happen. You're like, I'm gonna go confront Artorias, and he like beats your ass, and you get, and then she joins you, and she bonds with Laphicet to become their exorcist, Malkeem now.
Because she has to, because
She
he's
has
going to
to.
get corrupted if he's not bound
Yeah.
to somebody.
And
Because
so,
of malevolence,
yeah,
which
because-
is another thing.
Yeah, but and that happens, and you're like, oh, okay. And then she joins the group, but she obviously is trying to like working for Artorias to betray you. But like, I like that the thing that made me really happy is that Velvet and like Eisen just stand there and see it.
That's the thing, is this party's competent. Like
Yeah.
none of them are idiots.
It's like
which
a
is
real,
amazing.
it's a real thing when you like see like that, like they're like, we know you're betraying us.
They like she sneaks off after she tries to kill herself.
Yeah.
She's like, "Oh, I'm gonna go talk to Artorias," and then like Eisen and Velvet just like wake up because they were watching her because they're not stupid.
Yeah, they're like very smart people who have been. It's like real crazy to watch a JRPG have like
competent
smart, competent characters.
Eisen like gets shit done like
Yeah.
consistently.
All of them do. Like they all can like to have like the part where like he puts like I forgot how to say his name. I just like lost the name. This dual wielding swordsman. I just forgot how to say it all of a sudden. Rokuro, yeah. And we're like his fight with his brother like is obviously like that's like it's gonna be one of the big lead-in fights. You fight him halfway through the where I got through, and obviously you don't win. But like that whole fight scene's really cool. Where he's like, I'm gonna try to fucking kill you and just shove my hand through your sword to grab your sword, and then like he's like, if I was a second too late, I would have died. He's like, this is great.
It's like, nice job.
Yeah, I'll
little
see you
bro.
later. Yeah, yeah, it's like real, and those like all the Abbey people are painted as like really good villains. Like Artorias knows that guy is going to try to
He's
eventually
like,
kill
no
him.
one wants to kill me more than that man.
Yeah, and Velvet's like, I'm right here.
Look at me.
Yeah, it's so good. And then like there's the Melchior seems like a real
I like
Melchior
Melchior a lot.
seems like a real asshole.
And then you have Teresa and
Oh yeah,
Oscar, and
yeah,
they're
yeah.
their own weirdos.
Yeah,
and
they're
they have
very
this weird relationship.
and I burnt that dude's face at the beginning. Was so good to be like, he's the pretty boy. You just set him on fire,
And then
she's
she
like,
gets pissed.
yeah, and then you
she
beat the shit out of her.
tells Laphicet to blow himself up.
Yeah, and then you're like, no, you
just like slap.
Yeah, he's like, ah, like runs for like trying to blow stuff up. You just like kick him and then just kidnap him. And he's like, why didn't you kill me? And you're like, we're buddies now. And he's like, all right. It's okay.
Dial the Crocodile Man.
Yeah, it's like my
We-
party right
we didn't
now.
talk about the best character,
I-
Bien Phu.
Yeah, Bien Phu's bad.
I love Bien Phu.
Bien Phu's not bad.
He's
It's
a
just
little
like,
shit.
yeah, it's just a little shit. But like, I love them all so much, and like all of the vignettes where they get to like talk about their personalities and how much they play into it is like really funny.
That's always been a strength of the series. Is I know you thought skits like sucked in Symphonia.
Yeah, because they're like very stale and bland. In this game, like they're very like there's full art on the screen. They're like constantly moving around. Colors are changing.
The brilliance of skits is it gives you this level of character development that like happens in between battles, in between plot points, that lets you really connect to them because you watch them interact and they just feel like a party. You know, like you
Yeah.
watch their banter and it feels really natural.
Yeah, and they're very funny, and I think like the one I recently saw was like the women are just so complicated, like from Rokuro and Eisen's, and they're all like, if a woman breaks a woman who cuts your heart will is never healed as closely as a blade, and like they're all like sad, and then everyone's like, shut up, Eisen, and like the next one is just like, men are so simple, and Loftus is like, I think they're both wrong. Like,
Yeah, Laphicet's just there like, I don't know what they're talking about.
yeah, Loftus is like, I think they're both wrong about each other. And it's like, protect Laphicet, a sweet boy.
Yeah. So the dynamic as a whole is so good because it's so unusual for a JRPG and for the series as a whole, because in a Tales game, you know what you're going to get. You're going to get the protagonist, who's usually a goody two-shoes.
Yeah.
You're going to get the love interest girl. You're going to get a bro. You're going to get an old man. You're going to get a little lolly girl. And then variants.
Yeah.
This game gives you a female protagonist who is brooding and edgy,
Yeah.
which her alone causes a huge shift. Like, I really appreciate what Velvet like does for that game.
Yeah.
I think she's like a really good protagonist.
Yeah, and she's like a very like complicated, like not, I guess I wouldn't say complicated, but like a very like she makes mistakes, but in a way that like her character would make a mistake, so it doesn't feel like it's like a stupid thing where like your character's like, I just don't get it. It's like, no, she's gonna try to eat someone. Everyone's like, we don't need to eat everyone. Like Velvet,
like impulsive and like
yeah,
rash.
yeah, in a way. And then like
it's justified.
Rokuro was like violent in a way that like you don't like. He seems very unviolent, but he's a fucking murderer.
And Aizen's like secretly a dork.
Yeah, Aizen's a big dork and like loves talking about treasure and mineralogy.
Then she calls him out on it. She's like,
Yeah.
I think you just like hearing yourself talk about history, and he's just quiet.
Well, yeah, like the moment where like you're like he's like you're just to brag about this like island you're trying. He's like I'm not taking the bait. I'm not gonna ask you about it. Like it's like a great scene. He's like I just want to talk about myself. Like history.
And then MacLeod starts doing shit, and they're like we're just ignoring her. Like
and
no one plays along
except for Laffy said we'll play along with it. It's like very sweet. She's like and then you say Alakazam, It's like these idiots are all like, and then you have Eleanor who's like a great like this very nice person
man
who's no she's also like very like nice and like weird. Is like I really like sewing, so I like would sew your dress up if that's okay.
But she's
like a crush on Rokuro, and like it's good. I hope that pays itself off in some way.
I like Eleanor and Velvet's relationship gets really interesting because they get this rivalry.
She seems to have like almost a romance with Rokuro they're trying to paint, or like Rokuro is nice to her and she's like getting.
They do a little weird thing with them, but it never like goes anywhere.
Yeah, it doesn't ever go anywhere.
It's never like overt though, but they like do things.
It always. I wish JRPGs would take their romances and try to make a romance out of them sometimes.
Some Tales games do that.
Yeah, I gotta hope.
Some of them have done it.
Got it. But yeah, they seem like they have interesting characters, and I like it. I'm gonna definitely keep playing it as like the thing.
I love that you can have like two bros in your party. You balance like the right and left hand of Aizen and Rokuro.
I just like Rokuro a lot as like this bad teacher who's constantly trying
to.
That's
the thing is, they're big brother figures to Laffy set. Both of them, and they compete with each other because they both have to be the manlier man and like the better big bro.
Yeah, or like Aizen's like this very like you have to think through things. Rokuro's like I don't know, just fucking stab him, man. It's like real good.
Did you get to the beetle yet?
No, I have not gotten the beetle. I've just gotten to the I just got my ship and went to the next port town, and it was like
you're in Southgand because you're going to find
I forgot what I'm doing now.
You're finding the Moloch woman.
Yeah. I'm trying to find. Yeah,
what's her name?
Trying to find the
Grim.
Yeah, Grim. Yeah.
Yes.
I'm trying to find her. That's where I'm at right now. So no beetle scene yet.
Yeah,
or I missed it
a little bit more then. No, you didn't miss it.
Okay. But yeah, it's very clever. I think the mini games kind of aren't that great, but they're pretty easily skippable.
It's cool that they're there.
Yeah.
Like there's side stuff, and
yeah,
like you can unlock more
stuff.
cosmetic shit.
The cosmetic stuff is really fucking good. It's like I think it's really great because I hate the outfit of Velvet a lot. Like I think it's just actually garbage tier. But like I can put on her outfit from the beginning of the game, which I think is way nicer. I can change their hairstyle to fit hats more. I can put dumb hats on them. Like there's a lot you can do. And so like every character in my party wears a rose because we're the Rose Brigade in my head. And like everyone comes out and like everyone comes out in a group. Everyone has like a rose on like their right course, like right. And I'm like, and then like Laffy said has like a dumb like hat, like a no. He has a waiter's outfit on now and like a bow tie. He's like dapper. I'm here to help, yeah. And like now Velvet has like the waitress outfit on and like sunglasses on and the rose, and she looks like. The sunglasses are like almost mandatory for me now, but she looks so fucking like a badass now. It's so good. Rokuro has he has hair over one of his eyes and an eye patch over the other one, so he just can't see. So every fight he's like, I just think he's doing it by sense of smell or something. It's like really funny. Yeah, and then Aizen has the bowler hat on, like the white bowler hat on, and then MacLeod has the top hat on and the rose, and then Eleanor just has another bowler hat on. So everyone comes out with like bowler hats, and I'm like, the style in this game is strong. It's really cool. It's probably one of my most favorite things about the game is just like fucking with the style stuff and like having a lot of fun with that. And like the glasses and stuff. Because originally like, everyone was like wearing like dumb glasses, and everyone's like no glass, but everyone's like wearing a hat and top hats and coming out. My favorite one was I couldn't stop. I had cried laughing multiple times because Laffy set had the cowboy hat on for the longest time. So it's like this idiot kid who like can't speak, just has a cowboy hat on, and would just come out and be like, "I'm here, I'm here to help." Yeah. And it's like a 10-gallon hat on.
Leave his compass.
I just imagine they all like go on the ship and like they just come out the next day in this stupid outfits. And it's like, all right, yeah, whatever. And like Velvet's like,
you wearing?
Yeah, and Velvet like has the glasses on and like her outfit's like, what the fuck? And like looks mean. Everyone's like, I can't see.
This army of weirdos on a pirate ship.
Yeah, it's really funny. So I actually honestly recommend this game. I think it's really fucking good. And I'm surprised by how much I think it's really good.
I think everyone who plays this game will be surprised because it nails things that you think it's unattainable for JRPGs or this series that it just nails.
And it'd be like just so genuinely funny and like have that heart in a way that's like surprising.
The dub is incredible.
Yeah, and
It's incredible.
I can't even think about playing the sub or playing the subverbs. I like the dub so much. Like Aizen's great.
I think Velvet's
great.
voice actress is incredible.
Yeah,
Her range is like really good.
everyone actually range is really good. Rokuro's like voice is the perfect for Rokuro.
It would be so easy for Laufey's voice actor to be bad.
Yeah,
And he's not.
and Rokuro is like the best. Like, hey, I'm just here to hang out, guy.
And MacLeod's voice actress
It's
is like
so-
it's so hard
Everyone's
to nail
really
that character.
into their character in a way that's like, I don't know, man. Like, just surprised how fucking cool this game was. I'm really mad I waited, but I'm happy I got to it.
I'm happy someone else played this game.
Like I said, I like what else I could do. I was like, hey man, I will actually play this game. I wasn't lying to you. I will play.
You just start to think you're going crazy when no one else will listen to you. And you're like, hey guys, I think this game is really good. I really like this game.
I will always give. Don't worry, I always give Finn out. So that was.
I wish the world design was better. Is the game's biggest flaw.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
that's been a running thing for Tales games. They need to get better at.
I think they should like maybe take a few years off and like just really go for a new game.
Well, this game came out in 2016, localized 17,
Yeah.
and there's supposed to be one for the Switch. So I thought that'd get renounced at the Nintendo Direct, but didn't yet. So we'll see.
Hopefully,
There's one in the works.
My only dream is like I hope they take it more with like the ideas of Berseria from it's like so I don't want them to go back to like and then the main character is some just normal kid who's just a good guy at heart.
Well, that's the thing. I think this is like a good step in the right direction for the series. Like
Yeah. Well,
absolutely.
let's see if they take it. 'Cause this game didn't sell well. You know what I mean?
It's sold pretty well in Japan,
Okay,
but then
that's
again,
the hope.
Zestiria sold a ton in Japan too.
Yeah.
The game has a hardcore following over there. It's not going away as a series anytime soon, but we'll see. The big thing is the director of the last game left. Like Baba left. He's at Square Enix now.
Okay.
He's working on the Tokyo RPG Factory team.
Gotcha.
So he's doing Lost Sphere right now, but people were really happy when that man stepped off because he single-handedly gets a lot of the blame for Zestiria for shoehorning in characters at like the last 6 months of development allegedly. Like,
Oof.
so he left and everyone, they got back together.
So I hope they just
fixed
keep.
it.
So my main problem with RPGs, and I think this will segue into our next game we should talk about. It's something we both played.
Yes.
Was I like good characters. I don't like bland characters that JRPGs fucking shove down my throat every time I play one. And Xenoblade Chronicles 2 is no different in this department.
Okay.
How do you feel about Xenoblade Chronicles 2?
I want to say 20 hours in, I think,
Okay.
25.
I'm
at
about-
the Imperial part.
I'm about 100 hours in, I think.
Okay.
I dumped a shit fucking ton.
You haven't finished yet.
No, not even close.
God.
Or maybe I'm close, but I don't really care.
I heard 60 hours for the main campaign.
I don't doubt it is. I've just done a lot of side stuff. So
I know
I
you.
think the side stuff is interesting. I think some of it's actually. I think you can get blades from some of the side quests,
Which is cool. That's a good way to give
And
out
guess
some
what? The blades, the actual unique blades in that game have side quests of their own. For each unique blade has a unique side quest.
Which is a great idea.
It's a great idea. Almost unless you have to fucking open loot boxes of blades to get them.
This game has a lot of problems.
Yeah. So this is when I say Berseria is like a nice surprise. Cells of Xenoblade 2 is like just what I expected, I guess.
I was let down.
I wasn't let down because like I don't have the high hopes I used to. So Berseria was like even you actually gave me high hopes for that game, and then like it surpassed.
I was scared
it.
I was overselling
Yeah,
it to you.
you didn't. Yeah, you didn't even oversell it. Like you sold it well to me, and it oversold itself. And I was like, this game's good, and I was like really surprised. For this game, like I was like, I hope it's good. I'm excited for it. But like, it could be just a JRPG again. Like from what I saw, the character design didn't interest me. A lot of like the dialogue stuff was like, oh, this seems very normie, like very like normie stuff. Like if I want to put like a very like to like I guess lamb blast some people to be like, seems like a fucking JRPG.
This is a rough localization.
Also, this is a bad localization. It's not even rough. It's bad.
It's bad.
It's a bad. The voice acting doesn't sync up with the lips.
And the writing itself.
The writing is
not
pretty
translated
mediocre.
great.
Though I've heard from some people that the writing in the Japanese version
Maybe
is also
the original,
pretty mediocre.
not the best. I believe that.
Yeah. So, and also like it's really disappointing because like that game, I can see through like the rough patches like a really polished game in there.
You can definitely see it.
Yeah, but like it's not. The game's just not.
Well, I don't even know like what they would fix because it's so focused on those blades being those loot boxes. I feel like that's so central to the game.
I think the game has to be changed. So like that'd be like the thing straight up. Or like what I would do is like maybe through level ups you unlock blades to your character, like or through story events they'll just give you new blades. Like more side quests give you unique blades.
Or what if like there was just a limited what if there weren't just the general blades? What
That's
if there was
what I meant.
only the unique
Like, that's what I
blades
meant,
and
like-
it was a big event to find a blade like as the item and open
That's
it?
what I want.
Yeah.
Like you or I guess like actual most side quests are there's less dumb side quests and are very like unique talking and then you get the blade through them. Like there's a few side quests. Like there's one blade I got that was through a complete side quest of like go to these areas, get these things, and then eventually the man dies and you get his blade and like. And it's like, and they paint like there's like a good idea in there where like blades lose their memory when their master dies. That's like a huge thing. And that's a cool idea. They're kind of playing with that as the main story goes along, but but it's also just like a normal ass anime story of like, there's the evil blade that is the purple one.
Yeah,
And
I'm
then
like,
there's
wait, why
the
is
good-
Malos can have blades, but he is a blade?
Malos can have, and then the pyro blade, but she 2 blades in one. And
I saw later she becomes a 3rd blade that's green.
and then she a
Spoiler.
green blade, and then Nia's a blade, and everyone's a blade.
Nia's a blade?
Yeah, it's spoilers.
Ah!
Yeah, there's a part in upcoming.
She's a
literal-
cat lady.
There's a part that comes up for you where they're doing the hot tub scene, and then she just gets
good.
up and leaves and goes.
Oh, I did the hot tub scene.
You know where she's like, "Do you want anyone to tell you?"
Oh, I didn't know what that was about.
Yeah, she's a blade. I like figured.
Okay.
I was like, I looked at it, I was like, "Oh, she's a blade." Got it.
I thought they were doing like a
Don't worry,
joke.
they'll pay itself off in 80
Okay,
hours.
All right.
Yeah, and then she has a blade for Rex, and you can use her as a blade. But I literally instantly stopped using her.
Wait, so you only have Tora and Zeke? That's your party? then?
Morag.
Oh, and Morag. Okay.
Mhm.
Oh, that's wild.
Yeah. It's almost like you should have more party members and they could all switch out. There's like ideas here that could be really cool, but like Nia's the best healer. Like she's meant to be a healer blade or a healer user.
Does she change like her appearance when she becomes?
Oh yeah,
a blade?
she becomes a blade. It's a
Okay.
really bad outfit.
Oh.
But like maybe worse than Pyro, and I really hate Pyro's outfit. But besides the fact I don't like most of the characters, I think actually most of the character design in the game is just actually god awful.
I like Poppy's character design.
I think Poppy's fine. Yeah, there you go. You can have the Poppy outfit. Do you have Poppy Mark II?
Not yet.
All right, there's probably
The
there's also a
maid.
Mark III.
I've seen the maid. I think
No,
I thought
she
that
like
was Mark II.
no Poppy like literally transforms into a different.
Oh,
Like, she just stays as Poppy. Just goes Poppy like Alpha, Poppy,
Sigma or something.
yeah, something. And then there's like Omega.
I'm
obviously.
familiar.
Yeah. Stuff like that. And it just seems so middling, like of the road of like the world feels less fun to explore.
This is not Xenoblade 1's world.
No, and it tries to be the first place too, and it is
Garmin tries to be, and it's not.
and it's not, and it's like feels weird too, because it feels like it like tumors off in the left side, and like there's like a weird, really hard enemies there. Instead of like we're like in Xenoblade 1, that first really big area, there's like one strong monster just kind of in the middle, but you can
Super
really,
reminiscent of Guar Plains.
yeah, and it's not. And then the voice acting sucks, and the story's pretty mediocre. Like I lost a lot of interest in it. The Merc mission stuff becomes like a pain in the ass to do, and you need to do it if you want to level up Rock.
Yeah, like a lot of these games have had Merc missions, and like Berseria has one. I think
think-
Berseria's
I don't
is so
think-
simple and like you don't even think about it, and I
Well,
like it.
I think their Merc missions is fine too. It's just like
Well, I think you come here now and it's just like I don't want to deal with putting blades here, like sending them away. Like it's just a hassle.
and then like some of the later ones, like you need certain blades. So it's like it's like hey, you need so like I
Someone's
use
gotta
Ur-
have this wood cut
so like
ability.
for Ursula needs
Yeah.
specific blades. It's really fucking annoying. So like Ursula's to get on her infinity chart fully unlocked, you gotta do a grand concert with 5,000 of your audience. It's like a big thing. So you send her on these repeated missions, like it's like soul stamp 1, and you get a soul stamp. You have to get like 99 of them. And so it begins you can only get 1. Then you can get like 2. Then you go max out at getting 3. You have to get 99. You have to get 99 of 3
Do,
versions
like
of those.
50 times or something ridiculous.
Yeah, and then you also have to like unlock. You have to do like the
Like
special
30.
ones they give you. So you like need like you need Fortitude level 2+ for multiple people, and you're like I have to go. Okay, so I'm gonna go open blades. Who gets Fortitude level? Okay, none of my characters have Fortitude. I just can't do this now. I'm just actually shit out of luck. And I'm like, cool, this is really fun. Or it's like, hey, for you doing this soul stamp for ×3, you need you need Ursula slotted in. Obviously, you need 3 electric and 3 gunners. So you need an electric gunner no matter what. You just need to have one of those combined. Well, that's a fucking shot in the dark if you get one of those.
And you can't carry more than how many? Like
I don't know, man.
20 blades. Maybe?
I've unlocked like 300 blades. They just let you start carrying a bunch of them as time goes on. As you get more
because
parts.
I was gonna say I ran out of space real fast.
I
had
sold
to
a lot of
start
my
sending them
I sold
away.
my common cores at the beginning to like just fuck it up a little bit. But like, yeah, I'm like going and like I'm like trying, and so it's just like, you need 3 females and like two water. And I'm like, Jesus Christ, and I'm like slotting, and the menu system's mediocre. It's just hard to get.
I hate that UI so much.
And then like there's no customizability.
None.
Just your weapon kind of looks different if you put different chips in it.
Xenoblade 1, you change.
Your
They do the
outfit.
thing with the armor changes.
Yeah.
I love that. The Dragon Quest 9 thing.
And so it's just like, it's just a constant like game.
Let's talk about the positives. Let's talk about the battle system.
That system's fun. I actually think it's pretty okay.
I think it's fun. I think it takes way too long to get rolling. I think the
Oh, yeah.
tutorials are terrible.
Well, it also comes into I'll actually throw. I think the battle system's good. The game makes it worse because you have to unlock special blades, so you can't like have the fun combos going all the time. You have to have specific blades.
Like, I can only do this one big burst chain because
Yeah.
I only have fire, earth, and water.
Yeah, so it's like it's really hard to get that started off. Or like let's say there's break, topple, but then you can launch and break down. but like you have to get those blades to do that, and then be like, well, I don't want to use this blade compared to my other blades. The other blades are way stronger. They're better star points. Well, I shouldn't use that. And this is a tank version. I don't need a tank. I need an attacker.
Tanks suck as
and
Rex,
you're just like,
I feel like.
well, yeah, because like this is why I think this game's actually really shit. Is like, why would you use Nia as a blade? Nia's the only healer class in the game. Zeke's an attacker. Morag's a tank.
You have to have
Toro's a
You
tank.
have to have Poppy be the healer.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Well, you don't have to Poppy. You have to either put Rex, make him a healer,
Which is never fun.
never fun, or make Morag a healer, which is like, why would I do that? But like that might work. And you have to start and then be like, okay, well I need to get blades from Morag. That would be good healers. Oh wait, since this is 100 hours in the game, I've been giving Nia all my healer blades because she's been a healer the whole
shit.
game.
Do they just go to Rex at that point?
No, because you just no, she just loses all of her blade abilities.
Shut up. She just lose those blades?
I'm unsure if you actually
That's
just lose blades, but
fucked. They can't be true.
I gotta
That's
check.
such an
I'd have to check.
I can't believe that.
I'd have to check. So it's like all that happens, and because I think Nia's blade is an attacker. Like she's an attack blade.
She's an attack blade?
Look, dog, it's a lot. I'm not sure. I'd have to.
Dromex,
I'd really have to
healer?
go check. Yeah, I think they all just disappear straight up.
Dromex, no.
Well, no. Like you can unblade her.
Dromark.
So what you do is you just unblade her, and she goes back to being a character you can put in your party.
Oh, why wouldn't you just do that?
That's what I do. That's what I'm
Okay.
saying. Like she can be a blade or not. That's like the whole thing.
That's still stupid.
It's like when I got her as a blade, I was like, I just unbladed her and put her back, and was like,
Okay.
"You're the healer." Of the
I didn't know
group.
you could do that.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
good
yeah,
at
yeah.
least.
So, but yeah, so that blade becomes worthless because eventually Pyra gets taken away from you really far late in the game.
Awesome.
So you have to go get. So that character you've been using the whole game, that's like one of your best attackers, and you put your best stuff on, is gone, and you're like, okay, cool.
Hooray.
And there's like just a cope there. Like I really like the idea of like, okay, well if I like playing Zeke, it's like now I can do this like break. I have a group that's like Poppy, Nia, and Zeke, and because like Nia will break, Poppy will topple, I will launch, and then smash.
Oh, so
I
you're not
can-
even playing Rex.
Yeah, just fuck Rex. Like honestly, like I would play him more but like at the point like someone's like, yeah, he can just get all the blades eventually. It's like I need to level up other people then. I need to use other people's blades more because then it's like so I get their compassion and stuff up so I can get a better chance of unlocking better blades. It all just becomes this fucking. It feels like a grind. It just feels like you're grinding.
It's a super grindy game.
And then like to get like the special stuff like wind mastery stuff and all that is shit. I need to close this. The system was about to shut me out. But like to be like, okay, so like to unlock this chest, you need 6 lock picking and 7 wind masteries. You're like, okay, I'll have to go back into my menus, pull the blades out that have wind mastery and lock picking, put them in my party members slots, and then once I finish unlocking the chest, take those guys back out and then put in the people I had them before who I need to use. Like it's just shit.
It's a lot. It's a lot.
It's just shit. Like it's such a shit system. And like to have like to think that wouldn't be fucking annoying for people to play is mind-boggling.
It makes me feel like it's like a numbers crunching game. Like,
Yeah.
I think it's for the people that like that, and I think it could have been streamlined a lot more to be more accessible, and I think just more fun to do. To
I think
crunch
the
numbers.
worst part is I love fucking crunching the numbers, man.
Some
I like
Gaia.
Digimon like got hard for me. Like I love the part where I was like, I'm putting this Digimon back in and devolving it so
Yeah.
I can get better CP, so I can upgrade it. Like, and that game works better, but the grinding part was like not streamlined enough to be like a fun grinding game. But like this game is just a fucking chore because the fights, even if you're like higher level, just take for fucking ever.
They take way too long.
And you're like, okay, I'm like now I have 2 orbs. I'm gonna do my special, and like hopefully all these orbs smash and kill it. And I'm just like, I fucking hate this.
It makes boss fights really fun though.
Yeah.
I enjoy the boss
The
fights.
boss
a
fights are
lot.
good.
It feels like it's tailored around boss fights
Yeah.
and not standard encounters.
But there's not a lot of, and then like sometimes there's like boss fight or boss fight, and they're not fun after that point. It's
The idea is they're sprinkling in those unique monsters, and those are supposed to feel like that, like those boss
Yeah.
encounters. But like there's so few and far between. Like I avoid battles with little Crabbles because like it's just not fun for me.
yeah. And then they aggro onto you, and you're like, I have to fucking.
You gotta time the attack. Like the ideas there are really cool. Like switching blades is a really fun concept. I really like those core mechanics a lot.
Also, walking around to pick up items after a fallen enemy is shit. It's a bad design choice. It should just fucking pull
You open the
into
chest, it just like explodes.
and
on
you're like,
you.
okay, I gotta go all the way to that chest. And then like, I don't know, I missed something one time. I run all the way back and get it, and I was like, fucking come on. Like it's like, or if you're in the middle of a fight and you're like fighting a bunch of enemies, those coins will just disappear. And I'm like, well, there goes my money.
That is annoying. I think there's something tactile to it. I understand why they made that decision. I think
I wish.
it would be cool if it magneted to you a little better or something.
Yeah. Well, if you get some shops, upgrade all the way and take the
Oh,
shop.
awesome.
So like, you'll get a better. You'll have a larger magnetization pool.
I actually really like the idea of like buying the shop deeds
Yeah,
and
if
like
that was-
increase your movement speed. Like that's a cool system.
if that was made simpler and easier to understand, I bet it'd be great.
It's annoying when I go to the shop and I buy all the stuff and it's like, oh, they haven't started selling you everything yet.
Yeah,
That's annoying.
Yeah, go to the Merc group. Get all, like, I don't even know if you can get every. It was so. I don't understand.
Yeah, I wish you could tell if all their wares were available, so I knew if it was worth it to invest. Because I'd buy like 6 items in the shop, and I'm like, oh, that's still not enough. Like,
yeah, it's a fucking game for sure.
Game's got a tight economy. I found. I
What do you mean?
ran out of money pretty fast, but I was trying to
Yeah.
invest in stuff. I don't know if that breaks later. And I like the music a lot.
I think the music's pretty good. I think there's some like good hits in there. There's other times where I'm just kind of like, yeah, whatever.
There's some real winners though.
Yeah. It just sucks to like have this game come out and be like you see where they aired and like it aired real hard.
I think this game's rushed. I think this game needed another 6 months or something.
I think this game was going to be fucked up no matter what happened to. Is I think the blade system is so bad when I think it could have been really, really fun.
I think there's ways they could have streamlined it though. Like
Yeah.
I know we were just talking about how crucial some of those core systems are, but
It's like the whole like ice mastery system where you need 10 ice mastery to cross. So I'm like, well, if like I only had like a few blades and only a few of them are ice, like it'd be really hard to unlock that. I think a lot of those systems are just like, oh, it should just be like you have the ice blade, you get across the ice thing, and like that'd be fine. You can go back to it later. Which like I think it's just to be like randomized a little bit, like maybe, but like you should also be able to give blades to everyone. Like you shouldn't have to overdrive core chip a blade, which is like this one of the rarest items to find in the game is an overdrive chip. It's like you're like, oh, Rex unlocked the healer blade. I'm like, well, I don't want him to be a healer blade. He's shit as a healer.
and it's a finite material too.
Yeah,
I read.
it's super finite. Like it's really hard to find overdrive chips.
I had like one.
Yeah, I had a few. I don't think I have any more. And so like Morag just has an attacking blade, and I'm like, Morag, you're just not going to be an attacker ever in my party. I'm still playing it. I'm still trying to like put time into it, but I've stopped like a week ago. And
I took a break, and I'm just like, I'm not gonna force myself to play through this. Like I didn't do this with the first game. I took year-long breaks. I beat that first game this summer, and it was a 5-year-long experience.
last summer.
Did I say that?
You said this summer.
This past summer.
Yeah,
We'll fix that.
this past summer.
Maybe
Yeah,
not in the
last
future.
summer.
But like, I don't know. Maybe I'll be in a better mood for it, and I'll come back and I'll find more things to like about it because I think there's something there.
Yeah, I think there's something to like about it. Like I think there's some like I think Nia's actually a pretty good character. I think she's pretty consistently good throughout the whole
Her
time.
English dub really bothered me.
I actually like grew
Old
to like
Irish lady.
Yeah, like I actually grew to like it more because
Well, I like the idea of an old Irish lady character, but it doesn't fit with a little cat girl.
Yeah,
To me,
yeah, but they fuck up a lot of the things with those characters and just bore me to death with them.
I wish the dub was good enough. I could have experienced Van Ham with an Australian accent
Yeah, it's
because
so
that
good.
sounds good.
Well, he's the best part of that game. Like hands down, still the best character was that.
They
character.
kill him off too fast too.
He should never have died. That's like my actual answer. They should have gotten rid of Rex and made you.
I
Van
thought it was
Ham.
pretty obvious. It was like
Yeah, no,
he was
he's
almost Gary Stewish of like he just has no flaws. Like he's just this
Yeah.
perfect man. Like he's so charitable. He runs this orphanage
there's-
like mercenary guild.
It's this fuck up thing that happens where like I hate Rex so much that he's such a fucking boring character. Which is like, I'm gonna fight. And I was like, run away. He's like, never. And like, this is the whole fucking thing that every fucking JRPG main character does. Where I'm like, you know, honestly, to have the character go, I've been through a few battles. I know this is not gonna like we shouldn't do this. Is a way better character than the kid who's like, I will fight for my friend.
Velvet's like, I'll just fucking eat him.
Yeah, I'll eat him. Like shoot, Velvet would eat Rex. Like that's what would happen. That would be the end of that story. Like. But like, I hate Rex. I think Pyra and Mithra are like really boring and annoying.
Yeah.
Mithra actually ranges on the annoying to me, where she's like, "I'm Sundara," and then like turns away. And,
Yeah, that from where I got with her, she didn't seem very deep.
yeah. And then I think Morag's pretty all right, but like they pretty sideline Morag and Zeke pretty hard.
You told me Zeke loses his fun because of his backstory.
Yeah, Zeke was like this.
That's a
he's
bummer.
this eccentric, like weirdo man. He's like, actually, he's the prince from a long, far gone kingdom that he was exiled to be. Just because he was so he like wanted to go see the world, and like that's why he's so powerful because he's one of the best swordsmen ever, and everyone knows it, but you didn't. And it's like, oh, cool. All right. That's why they call me Thunderbolt Zeke, because actually everyone does know him as Thunderbolt Zeke, because he's
That's
an
way less fun
incredible
if people
swordsman.
actually know him. It's
Yeah,
way better if
Morag's
just
like,
some
Morag's like,
goof.
so you really are the Thunderbolt Zeke. Like, it's like that shit. It's like, fucking who cares?
This is way more fun if he's just like a nobody who thinks
Yeah.
he's hot shit.
And like, yeah, like,
Yeah, that's
Thunderbolt
sad.
Zeke would have been a better main character. Like, everyone would have been a better character. That's actually how I feel.
Tora's a
That
main
game,
character
yeah.
with his maid fetish.
Yeah, maybe Tora's actually the worst main character. You're right.
I think that game's still funny though. Like for as bland as some of those characters can be, I
There's
think they
some good-
interact in ways that are entertaining.
I guess it's like there's like some funny moments, and then I played Berseria where it's consistently
well,
good.
yeah, Berseria is like good writing.
Well, it's actually a good game. That'd be the argument. I think it's super middling.
Yeah, I mean, like I think it's an average. Like it's got some problems. It's got a lot of flaws.
Definitely got a lot of flaws. Let's talk about Mario.
You want to talk about Mario?
You only got a few minutes left. Let's talk about Mario.
Okay, because I don't want to get into Nier. I don't want to.
Oh yeah, you
I
beat
don't want
Nier,
to.
but you liked it.
I like that game a lot.
Yeah,
That's one of my favorite games.
We'll put it like this:
that
Joe
I've
thinks
played
it's one of his
in a long
favorite games.
I'm tied between thinking if I like Nier or Bloodborne better. That should say a lot.
It says a lot.
I lean Bloodborne, I think, still.
Yeah.
But I think they're like in the same tier.
Let's get into Mario. Oh god, I almost threw my mouth.
And then
Mario.
it's like Xenoblade below.
Yeah.
It's like Bloodborne, Nier, Xenoblade 1. Take that to the bank.
I gotta play Xenoblade 1 again sometime.
It's good.
I really like Tales.
Tales of Berseria, the fourth best game I played this year.
Let's talk about Mario. How do you feel about
Second
Mario?
best game 2017. Okay, Mario. Where do you stand on Mario? You still really like it, but you said you came back down on it. So I want to hear, because when you were texting me, you said, I finished it. I really like that game.
Yeah, but like that's like saying I really like something isn't like me being like it's the best thing this year.
I know it's not,
Yeah.
but I'm just trying to get a temperature. Here.
I think it's really good, and like that's it. Like that's like my emotional like resonant with Mario is like it's pretty good. Like it's really good. It's a well-made game.
I was talking about it earlier, and I was like, it's missing something. I didn't feel that spark. And watching just Anderson's video review, or not video review, his critique, it kind of resonated with me a little bit and kind of put articulation into words I didn't know how to articulate. I think that game controls really well, but I think the level design is its undoing.
Yeah, I can see that.
Or specifically the way you get moons and the moon placement. Did you watch the critique?
I didn't watch the critique, but I think we talked about this actually before we left a little bit. Or no, we talked about this. I think we just talked about this on our own. We were talking about like how some levels are just like you're just doing nothing, but like
there's a lot of filler moons. And like he went through and showed it. I don't agree with him on a lot of his stuff. I think he's a little bit too critical and unfair to some of it. But I think overall, I really agree with his broad points that you're doing nothing and just getting the moons.
Yeah.
It's just candy. You know, you just pop moon, pop, 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 just over and over again.
I think
and they lose their meaning.
Yeah, I think that's almost. It's a weird thing. Like I can criticize the idea, but I think that's also the point of them in a way. Where like some of them, the big one, the main ones are the 3 moons. Those are the ones that's supposed to feel good. Every other one's just like you're having a good time, popping a little candy in your mouth. Let's go.
It is the point, but it devalues them.
Yeah. Well, I think I always separate it into camps for me. Like I have the moon, then I have the 3 moons. The 3 moons are that's the big event. The 1 moon, that's just having a good time. That's you being like, I found a guitar guide, and it's like, hell yeah, you did, big boy. And I'm like, thanks for the moon.
The game stops being a platformer at some point and more just I'm walking around this corner and there's a moon there that I pick up. Like if he went into such anal dissections of it, but I didn't realize how little platforming you do in this game.
That was a weird word choice.
Anal?
Anal dissection is the combination.
I didn't think about the second part.
Yeah.
I brought up the anal. Anal dissection.
Yeah, you brought up the anal, but like I'm really proud of you for
the Mario anal.
Hey, we're all growing up. We're 21. It's time to experiment.
I'm 21. This is great.
Yeah.
I love being 21, Chase. Let me tell you what.
Oh fuck. God. Anal dissection. If I titled these episodes.
That's the title of this one.
Yeah.
There's so much filler moons that are just they're there and you just stumble onto them.
So you've now opened up my main problem with the 2 games from this year that everyone loves, which is I think there's a lot of filler content that sucks.
Spoiler, it's Mario and Zelda.
It's Mario, yeah. Mm-hmm. Who would've thought?
So this is my distinction.
And Xenoblade Chronicles 2. Oh shit!
The trifecta.
Yeah.
This is why I still like Zelda better, is because I think where Mario fails, Zelda still succeeds in the exploration aspect of it. Because I think the Mario stuff is too simplistic. I think the playground is just too bland, whereas the act of exploring in Zelda is where I get the enjoyment from. Like, even if the shrines were equating to being the challenges for the moons and things like that, that's those double cross themselves out.
I guess
if that makes sense.
there's a weird thing
in my
here
head.
for me where the act of moving in Mario and playing it is more fun than the act of moving and playing Zelda for me.
I can see that.
Because Zelda gameplay is trash.
I think climbing feels really good.
Climbing feels all right, but also I played Assassin's Creed, and I think that also feels all right.
You're insane. Zelda feels so much better than Assassin's Creed. I don't know about this year's one. I didn't play this year's one.
This year's one.
If that's what you're talking about, I'm sorry. I think I meant like 2.
Yeah, it's true. I only played a little bit of this year's one. I only got to play it for someone else had it that I knew I played.
Important distinction.
That feels good. But I guess my main problem with like Zelda is like getting a moon in Mario can be easy, but there are like actually challenging ones that I do like to get. Like I found like the 3 moon ones to be fun and stuff like that. Or like fighting the big octopus boy was like an enjoyable fight, especially the later ones. But like every shrine I think I did in Zelda.
Sorry.
You shit. I didn't like it all, and then there's especially ones I thought were actively I didn't like at all.
There were some shrines I did like, and another point that I came to the realization was I think they really did not go far enough with the captures. They're very one note.
Yeah,
and
we talked about this. Me and you talked
I
about
didn't
this.
fully understand how one note they were, to where you possess a dude, there's one thing you do with
That's
that,
it.
and that's how all the puzzles resolve around
Yeah.
it, and that kind of sucks.
Me and you were talking. I talked about this when I first started. I was like, I wish there was more to that mechanic. I think that mechanic feels not even as fleshed out as Flood.
Like, you see a Goomba, you're just stacking them,
Yeah,
and you're going to walk up to a Goomba lady, and
Yeah.
that's cool, but that's it.
Or you're not sliding on ice. There's a second thing.
Right, but there's never
But
a
you
viable...
only do that, yeah.
That's so
Yeah, like I think
ancillary.
I don't think the camera mechanics like I have a lot of problems with Mario. Mario's not like my like Zelda and Mario are not my top tier games this year. I think they're actually really low, if not even on my list, because I think they're super flawed in their like presentations or not presentations. Their actual mechanical layout is like actually kind of boring to me.
Well, the good point that got brought up is it's like they use 2 face buttons in Mario.
Mm-hmm.
You're using so little real estate on that controller. That's kind of insane.
Yeah, like there's like certain moves where I'm like the throw to jump to like throw
that's the most complicated move in the game, and that uses like two buttons, 3 if you count a trigger to hold down while you like dive. And you could say that's like brilliant, but I think that's not utilizing all the tools you have available.
I also think the level layouts for a lot of the games themselves are kind of boring. There's a lot of like, I'm gonna swim in the lava for like 10 minutes here, or like I'm gonna follow these note trails in the lava, or I'm gonna hop on the lava moat and hit the ground with my butt and get a moon.
It really reminds me of the theme park style of like just explore and walk around. I've started to feel like I never did anything in that game. I was just guided.
See, I don't feel that way because there were those 3 moons that I think were like the boss fights were really fun. Especially getting to the top of the lava mountain and the Food Kingdom's really fun. I really like that. And exploring around that map space, I actually like enjoyed myself.
I think that's like one of the best maps.
Yeah, I think that like. But also like I think about the Octopus Man, like the single moons getting like going all the way around the map and getting them all is still like an experience. I think is like still fun for me.
I think so
Solving
too.
those little, I think those like. I think they should have honed in more on like making moons special to get, but I don't think that was their idea. I think their idea was like, yeah, some of them are just candy you get, but they're in service of beating the bosses and stuff.
Well, here's what's disappointing is you do a little challenge and you get a moon. It's not you do a little challenge to reveal a challenge to do the moon. You know, you round a corner. What if you stumble on a secret and it takes you to a challenge instead of you stumble on the secret, there's just a moon there?
Well, there's like that, and
there's not.
There is because you stumble on the rocket, you hit it, you jump up, that takes you to a challenge for a moon.
Those I'm not talking about those. I'm talking about the moon that's just around the corner or something.
Yeah,
like you find Captain Toad, he just gives you something. Why don't you do something with that? You know what I mean? Like they don't utilize it enough.
Yeah, no, I agree. I'm just saying, like, I don't think it's like fully 100% one way.
I don't think it's 100% one way. I think it's 80%. There's a lot of there's a lot of recycled moon stuff too. Like if you break down the kinds of things you're doing, like there's so much. It's just over and over.
I agree. Well, like you're just saying the points. Like I think that game is very good. It doesn't mean like I find it amazing or think.
I'm not trying to say you are. I think I'm still framing in my head in reference to Zelda. I feel like in Zelda, I just enjoy the actual exploration, which makes up for the things that's
Here's the
lacking.
thing. Like, I think I enjoyed exploring in Zelda 2, but I realized my exploration was in service of literally nothing besides myself. That game doesn't reward you for exploring. What it rewards you with is bullshit that you get on the way. Like, how many times, like, if you kind of be going like moons are shit, and I'm like, that's fine.
Shit.
I'm not saying that. I'm just hyperbolizing you.
Yes.
Korok seeds are the epitome of shit. Then
I disagree. I think Korok seeds are brilliant.
I think
it's
they
great.
suck.
No, I think it's
so shit.
I think it's great because it means anyone can find 100, and there are 100 different ones.
That's great. Anyone can find 100 moons in Mario, and that's great. Like if that's what we're
that's good. The Korok seeds are the lowest tier thing in Mario. That's the only thing. That's the problem.
Well, I'm saying
everything is that shitty.
I'm gonna say this because there's a levels of like moons you can get. Like later
there's
stuff,
not.
There's a later in the game that's way harder.
Dude, 3 moons mean nothing. I feel like you talk about going to those boss fights, like they mean nothing. Like
I think like especially like the later stage ones where like after you beat the game you go to the 64 level, like those advanced bosses are like, pretty difficult and
those
fun to fight.
Sure they remix them a bit.
Like if your problem with Mario, and this is the problem I've always had, is they introduced the harder stuff way too late to feel special.
My problem isn't the difficulty. My problem is the rewards. Zelda rewards you for things granularly and on different levels depending on the task. Every reward is the same thing.
I would argue Zelda they reward you more shit. Like I think like the most stuff they were ordered with is garbage actually.
But there's not though, because you have not just Korok seeds, you have the spirit orbs, you have
Yeah,
items in the
well,
world,
spirit
you
orbs,
have equipment,
the spirit orb,
you have
no,
weapons.
this is what it is. The spirit orbs are the best thing, but like most equipment you get as you progress the game becomes shit. It's barely hard to get the better stuff unless you go to the specific areas where you know it's going to be better. Doing side quests for NPCs usually rewards you with garbage to your stuff, and the side quests themselves are garbage. Like it's. And then you have to, and then playing the game itself to get there is usually like unrewarding because like the combat falls apart. The shrines themselves, most of them are mediocre. And then if you do a combat challenge, God help you because it sucks. And then, or you get to do a dungeon to get the best things in the game, which are the spirits. And those dungeons are garbage. Like I'm not saying like, I'm just saying I don't think you're examining Zelda with the same fine-tooth comb you've gone through now with Mario because of this critique. That's what I'm saying.
I think I am because I think they're at least differentiating rewards, and that's a big thing.
Then I also think Korok Seed puzzles are bad. It's like also my other argument.
I think that's the base level thing. I think a Korok Seed puzzle is literally equivalent to a Moon and Mario.
Yeah, like, that's what I'm saying. I think those are both bad.
I think that's Zelda has more than just Korok seeds. Is
yeah,
like where I'm at.
And then I guess my next thing is like the shrines are the 3-level moons for me that they are for you in Mario, where they're just like it's a really basic task. I did it, cool.
But when I go to a shrine, I don't get 3 Korok seeds. I get an orb.
Yeah, and then I get 3 moons, which is about the same as 3 Korok seeds to me.
Getting
fucking weapon,
you're right.
Getting weapon expansion slots in that game is really important for me to enjoy that game. They're almost as important as me getting another heart or a stamina gauge. Because holy shit, when I was running out of weapons at the beginning of that game, I was about to fucking lose my mind.
We should table this.
Yeah.
This is good, though.
Because that's shit. That's a shit thing to do. Hide your weapon. It's like...
They give you more than enough to start with.
No, they do not.
They give you like 4.
Especially if you can go anywhere. Yeah, because if you can go anywhere, you're also going to run into like, oh, I have to fight like people. I remember like ran into like.
You start with equipment that breaks so easily though. Like by the time you start scaling up, like I had no problems with it.
I was running out of weapons like that. I was fighting, and I went to some areas that like had enemies that were far too tough for me to fight at that time. Like,
I think that's a progression. That's a progression system.
That's a progression system. And then when I get there, when I'm already that strong, and I realize I've broken the game because all the defense equipment is extremely broken in that game, where you can just break it like that, like it just becomes nothing. Because the progression system is garbage. Like because like the progression is this. It's a little challenging right now. I just can't go that way. And then it becomes everything is easy. I'm a god among men now. Like it just goes from that to that. So once you get a fairy and you go, oh cool, I can upgrade my equipment. I can put the soldier gear on, and all of a sudden like I have this defense scale works like this. Enemy does 12 points of damage. If it hits you, it does nothing, or does only half a heart. So I'm just like taking no damage, going like brat beat a man. Brat beat a man. Master Sword breaks.
I think it's a little more than that, and I would actually argue that like that's not even what breaks it that much. It's like food breaks it.
Well, the armor also breaks it.
No, like, there's a lot of things that break that. Like we're not disagreeing on that. I think we're just disagreeing on the value of like what's better in these games.
I guess what the value is for me is like I enjoyed jumping around in the Mario world.
It feels great.
Yeah, but like I didn't enjoy jumping around in the Zelda world.
I think Mario doesn't give you enough excuses to jump around. Like that's how I feel. Like, how much have you platformed in that game? Like, actually think about it. How much have you been rewarded for platforming? Think about that.
I guess the weird thing is, to me, is like I didn't care that much. Like,
maybe not.
Yeah, I like enjoyed just running around.
Then maybe I'm examining this from the reference of like other Mario games in like 3D space, because like in that sense, I think it's a disappointment. Like this game is not one of the best 3D Marios to me, like for those very reasons.
Yeah, I guess to me, like I'm not. I guess one of the best 3D Mario games to me is the game they said they weren't going to make. They weren't making another Galaxy.
This game is more like Galaxy than 64.
Oh no, Miss Galaxy does.
No. But hear me out. Yeah. Because of the way that everything is so like segmented, like it's not like actually like 64 in that way. Like it has the levels where you just go to a little challenge room, but that's like similar to like when you approach something in a Galaxy in that sense.
Well, I guess
there are ways where it's very similar to those styles.
I said this to my friend, and I said it's the most Super Mario 3D World sequel I've seen in a while. Where I think this is most like the 3D world, where there's a couple stars in the world, you just travel through the level. Maybe you don't do that much platforming. Grab those, do like a little small puzzle, grab the star, and move on. Like that's how I described it. And I said, and I like 3D World. I think 3D World's pretty fun. I wish this game actually had co-op so I could play with some friends. And it was a little more pulled out, and I actually enjoy myself.
Good news for you, Luigi's back.
Yeah, Luigi's back, and he's my friend. But yeah, like I think it's good because I like 3D World quite a bit. I thought this was like a lot like 3D World in a way, where like you do a small thing while you go through this level, and it's a good time. And sometimes it doesn't require the most hardcore platforming. As it goes on, I think you get like more difficult platforming, but nothing too crazy.
The end of 3D World's fucking crazy.
Yeah, 3D World's fucking. Well, yeah, 3D World's one of the best.
3D World's hard. Nah,
3D World's fucking aces.
I think I still like Odyssey more than 3D World.
But then like the problem with me, like with Zelda, I was just like, man, what am I getting from exploring anymore?
fun.
Like I wasn't.
Dude, I've been on so many planes. I've never played Mario on a plane. I've only played Zelda because that's just the game I want to play. And like I'm not even doing anything. Like, I'm in the end game. I've done like almost all the shrines. I just like to explore. There's something there, and like maybe that's an unfair argument for me to now bring up, but like there is that magical draw.
You have to tell me what that thing is, because when I got
it's exciting to go over a mountain and see something you haven't seen before and go over there and find out what's
so
there.
like that to me, like that's the same thing with like when someone said like when I played Skyrim was like I can see something there, and like the part that broke Skyrim and broke Zelda for me was I got there and was like, oh, there's nothing here.
I think there's still things there. I'm not sick of collecting Korok seeds or shrines yet. I'm not sick of it yet.
Well, I think Korok seeds are not hard to collect. You just goes and you get it. But it's like the thing is like I shot an apple off a tree. I put an apple in a basket. I picked up a rock.
I think it's seeing cool things in the world too. Like there are still some enemies I haven't seen. Like I like filling out that logbook. I know no one else takes those photos, but I'm doing that.
It was real great when I saw the silver bokoblin.
It's kind of a big deal when you see the silver line. You're like, oh shit, I haven't seen that dude yet.
Yeah, and then I beat the shit out
I
of him.
found out I haven't even
stronger.
discovered Terrytown yet. I know that was even in the game. Like
I fucking killed everything.
Like there's still things for me to find.
Yeah, I just never had that with that game. It's like I did most of the things and I felt like completely unresolved in life and was just like, this sucks. Like, and then to tack on like the actual gameplay of that game, the meat and potatoes of it, to like have it be broken and not be fun for me. Like I think that's also shit.
Maybe
I think that part of like where I can break that game wide open without even thinking, because I just saw what the problem was and was like, is this how this works? And just jumped and it completely broke. And I said, oh, this game's broken. Is incredible. Where like Mario, maybe the platforming, you don't do enough of it. Maybe the challenge isn't hard enough. But when I jump, it doesn't go, and you've destroyed the world, my son. There's a moment that game just breaks when you realize you can just dodge at any time when they swing and you become a flurry.
I think the game breaks when it just gives you all the rewards you need and you just walk through it without doing anything.
So I never had that thing. It's like it always courts off. You have to defeat the boss thing. So like I'm always like, oh, I'm gonna go do the boss thing then.
But the bosses are like, you use the one gimmick of the level, and it's like, that's it. I'm like, I'm gonna hold down the button and grow big as an onion. Like that's what I'm doing. Or I'm gonna control a bad tank and shoot a caterpillar.
The bad tank, I agree with. The one where you grow up and down, I thought it was a pretty fun fight. I actually enjoyed myself.
I thought it was like fun too, but again, it's like it's the same mechanic. It's the same thing.
Yeah, I mean, like I don't know what to say.
What if the onion could do more than just that?
You're right.
What if the onion could use the X and the Y button?
But we already agree on that. We've already like agreed on that part of. Like,
I think that's such a problem. That's such a shame. Like
I think you've now gained the part where I think both those games are heavily flawed problems.
You're right.
Where I think the people who really like them have negated the part where I'm like, yo, those things in them though are shit. Like are actual garbage tier problems. That's why I have such a problem with Zelda and people like it. I get so confused. I remember I played that game. I'm like, where is it? Why do you love this? And I get so confused.
I don't know. It's hard. Maybe I still can't articulate it in Zelda yet. I'll work on it.
It's like I broke that game. I just broke it. And like I don't.
It's a breakable game.
I guess the only shrine I remember in this game, and this is maybe the sad part, I think I've done every single one. I did 74 or whatever. I missed 6.
There's 120.
There's 120. I guess I did like 80. I don't know what I got, like enough to be like I had a lot of hearts.
It might be 80. I don't know.
Let me go look at how many shrines there are in Zelda. I'm just gonna look this up. But what I was saying is, you know what I remember from Zelda? I remember the shrine where there's water. You have to make ice go up to block the laser.
I know exactly which one.
And that's it. That's the only one I remember.
Yeah, a lot of those shrines suck.
Yeah.
And a lot of them can be broken.
I wouldn't even say a lot of them. I'd say 80% of them.
I think it's a fun world to interact with. I think the game lets you interact with it, where in Mario it's like you do the interaction and then you get the candy.
I guess in my sense is like I like getting the candy more than I like playing the game more, because like what I get from Zelda, I got nothing that felt ever substantial besides like I did a shrine, but doing the shrine most of the time was a real big bore.
But there's so many ways to do the shrine. There's so many ways to approach everything in that game, which I think is fun. It's the choice you have. It's something Skyrim doesn't have.
I don't think there's a lot of ways to do a bunch of the shrines. I think
there are. There's so many different ways.
I think there's like a couple of fun ways to do them, but like the obvious way, the one that they literally they go do that one, they pretty much say, because they've been training you to do it a certain way, sucks. And then you have the combat ones, which are only one way, unless you talk about doing combat multiple ways.
There are multiple ways to do combat.
Yeah, but like, all the way that shrines do suck because the combat's bad.
There are some fun ways to have fun with combat.
Yeah, I mean, I guess, but if you just see them go down and you're on the left and you just go and move, You got a flurry rush though.
Okay, but like
It's
I'm
broken.
playing the game and like I'm gonna do the thing I have fun with. Like I'm
Yeah,
gonna freeze him and I'm gonna do a big spin thing. And like,
yeah, I mean, like I did the same thing. Like I
like,
took out a sword and I spun it, and then I was like, okay.
Yeah, you're right. That's not a good example.
Okay, sorry. I took out the short sword and did a smaller spin.
You're right.
I took out the spear and did a
Alright.
flurry of sticks. Oh wait, that's only 3 types of weapons in the game. Oh, you have the fireball ones, but those all kind of suck. Unless you want to, like, I think those are the fun.
I'm not
more
saying
fun
I think
traversal.
Zelda is an amazing game.
I'm not either.
I think it's like a really good game that has problems.
Yeah.
And it's kind of not broken.
Not broken.
Not
the
broken.
thing is, like, you're like, the only problem I have with this is like it's like Mario has like this everyone's going with Mario with like a really fine tooth comb, and I appreciate it. I really do, because I think that game has a lot of flaws. It's the weird thing of like where people are like, Zelda has all these flaws. It's also one of my favorite games. Like, please tell me why you think it's one of your favorite games.
I'm trying to tell you because I don't think I'm ignoring anything you're saying here.
Yeah.
I'm not denying any of it.
I'm just trying to find out what that thing is you say you love.
It is the act of seeing the world is enjoyable. And that's so weird to say because I could say the same thing about Mario. Like, I understand that. I'm having a hard time articulating it.
There's that Japanese Bowser level. That's way cool.
I think that level kind of sucks. That's like
I
the
like
worst
how it looks,
level.
but I like how I love exploring. I love walking around. Like, the argument for that is like
no,
just really strange
I
to me.
hear you. I
Yeah.
understand that. I'm trying to articulate in my head, and like I'm having a hard time. And like maybe that's revealing. I don't know. I think those games are similar in that way. I'm trying to say I think the edge for Zelda in me is I enjoyed the exploration of that world because I found it more meaningful.
I think a lot of people haven't played a lot of open world games enough.
You're right. I haven't.
That's my actual
I'm
thing.
not someone who's qualified to speak on open world games,
Yeah.
and I freely admit that.
I think a lot of people be wowed by open world games that they play no more. I guess like that's my actual thing. Like Horizon, I think has a
But like I think open world games are some of, if not like the most popular genres, like
which
of
is
this era.
But I think like especially critical people will be like, I'm playing like.
That's like all critical people do is
Yeah.
like play open world games.
I think
it feels like.
I think it has like a very nice world too. It's like very, but I guess like the thing to me is like, this is gonna sound strange. I don't think the Dark Souls worlds are that interesting to me. Like they're nice to look at, but I could never care about exploring them or getting into their spaces. I like the combat in them. I like feeling that struggle, and Zelda didn't offer me that struggle.
What did you feel about Bloodborne's world?
It was fun to walk around in, but I wanted the combat. The reason I like Bloodborne is when I fucking shot a dude and he stumbled and I shoved my blade into his throat and ripped it out. That's what I remember from Bloodborne. I remember that tactile feel of me shoving the blade in him. I really don't care about the rest of the world. I think it looks very nice. I think it comes together pretty well. I think it's also a little loosely disjointed with the going to Hunter's Dream. I think is really annoying.
Yeah.
With the loading screen, stuff like that. But like open world games don't do anything for me unless like they give me something to grasp onto. Then I can grasp the world next. I first need to grasp the blade before I grasp the grass.
I wonder if that's a taste thing at that point.
It
like
is.
I'm not trying to separate because I think Mario and Zelda are very equivalent
Oh, it's
in that
definitely-
way.
so it's-
I'm not trying to say like, oh, I like exploring Zelda is more valid than you saying I like exploring. I do not mean to make that argument. I understand how hypocritical that sounds, and I'm glad you brought that up.
But like I guess the like end of the day thing is like we have to wrap this up soon. So anyways,
I know.
But I guess like the end of the day thing is like for me like people like exploring the world, and I guess like I've been playing like giant open world games
You're
for
playing
like,
The Witcher.
Yeah, I played The Witcher, and The Witcher doesn't have the greatest combat in the world. I mean, I've opened this, but that story and that environment is so much more fun to me to explore. Zelda just didn't have enough for me to grasp on. So like what Zelda needed is like Dark Souls. I don't give a shit about the story in Dark Souls. It's stupid. It's actually mostly bad. The lore is interesting, but the story itself is like, who cares? The fun part about it is getting the combat and then exploring that world. Zelda doesn't have a story that's interesting, so it needs to have both of the combat and the environment to like hook me. You know, it needs to have both of it. Where like Dark Souls has the environment and it has that combat that comes with it, and like then they come together. Or like Witcher 3 has that story and that world that I really love. But the combat's middling, but I can get through it. It has to have like multiple things for me to grab me, and just exploring a world without me having an attachment to it in any way just leaves me bummed out.
I think all that stuff the way it hits people differently is so interesting. You know, it's so abstract because I honestly cared about the world and story of Bloodborne as much as the combat. Like those were equal to me. Like I was so invested in finding out like the history of Yarn and like what happened.
You like the lore of Bloodborne, not the story.
Did. Well, because I also like got into the story of what I was doing. I did care about like what am I doing? Like what is the pale blood? Like that
Bloodborne might be the best
me.
example of all that coming together. I said like I don't care about the world beginning is what I meant. Bloodborne like grew in me. Like then I started loving the world. But like the beginning, I'm like, world's cool. How do I tactilely interact with this world? And I think Zelda has a good beginning of you tactilely explore it really well. You feel like you're really a part of it. When it comes to like, let's pull out our sword and let's fight, I just think it all kind of falls apart because like I think Like I said before, I think the great sword doesn't get good till the very end of the game. Like the big swords aren't useful to the very end.
I'm like not even interested in like talking about the combat like at all.
Yeah.
Like I don't care. Like I actively like avoided combat in that game. Like that's what I did. That's a problem, but I was having fun with what I was doing, and like I can't deny myself that.
Yeah, I don't want to deny that part.
No, I know you're not.
Yeah. This is gonna be the argument, the game of the year stuff.
I think like
Zelda,
this,
isn't it? It's gonna be Zelda and Mario, man.
I think the systems in place in Zelda are like interesting and like fun to interact with.
And that makes them all the more disappointing.
You're right.
That's yeah.
You're right, but I'm glad that there's some stuff there.
Yeah. My argument would be like, no, those two games we just talked about aren't even my top 5, and maybe not even my top 10.
I think they'd be like either 6 and 5 or 6 and 7. I think.
Yeah.
For me.
Zelda was like a huge like. Zelda, I guess like everyone, I'm the guy who's like Zelda has the most promise to be the most interesting thing in the next couple of years of being like, wow, this could really take off if they just figure out how to put more than 2 enemies in the game.
And we came together on that.
Yeah.
And like I want items in that.
Hopefully
world.
they can.
I want
hopefully
better
they can
rewards.
eventually put more than just a goblin in there.
I want better rewards in that game. I think like getting real items would be like incredible, and having real dungeons spread out instead of like shrines.
It's straight up like less world and more just like more granular stuff, like more weapon types, more enemy designs, better dungeons. Like the things that make Zelda, really put your effort into them. Because like spear, sword, big sword, bow and arrow, wands kind of suck. Especially wands. You don't get enough of the wands to make them acceptable. But we've gone far too long. I need to go home and watch the new Godzilla anime that came out on Netflix because I have a life. Bye.
Bye.